Welcome, Lion Nation, to Week 2 of the 2024 season. The Lions pay a visit here tonight to the field for the second week in a row. This week we play the Hendrickson Hawks out of the Pflugerville Independent School District. The Lions dropped Week 1's game against the Pflugerville Panthers, whom they'd beaten 2 in a row and 3 out of 4 by a score of 54-28. They were a little bit overwhelmed. Do you have a little bit of summary for last week's game there, Frank?
Yeah, last week's game, Leander's defense, he needs to buckle it down this week. Last week we gave up 527 yards total, 297 in the air, 230 on the ground. And our offense didn't do too bad. We had 244 yards receiving, and with Magic Man Zane with 214 receiving all by himself.
Yeah, and that those yards don't count any special teams yards, which those weren't available to us. But
well over 300.
Yeah,
sure.
he's definitely in all-purpose yards, over 300 yards for that game. Now the problem with that is Hendrickson has seen the film. They are aware of number one, and so the Lions are going to have to look at other options to try to be successful on the field tonight, because obviously if you're the Hendrickson Hawks defensive coordinators, you're putting your best defensive back on, Zane Wooldridge, as well as probably giving him a little bit of help from the safety or a linebacker. And they do have good athletes and good speed here at Hendrickson.
Yeah, they got some big DBs. Both of them are 6'1" and 6'2", so we'll see what Mr. Zane can do with them.
Well, and at quarterback, Logan Mitchell had a pretty good performance last week, and we saw two quarterbacks play. Mason Montgomery came in late and got himself a touchdown as well, which you like to see that from your backup, because football being the violent sport that it is, it's difficult to keep one quarterback for an entire season, so you really do need a backup. And, I'll just mention this as kind of a side note. Mason Montgomery's namesake, also Mason Montgomery, unrelated, attended Leander a few years ago. He's going up to the majors for the Tampa Bay Rays as a pitcher. I saw the post today. So he's moving on up into the bigs. And so, it's always nice to see an old Lion, a lifetime Lion, getting a little bit of publicity and play at the highest level of their sport. And we hope the same for this Mason Montgomery. And again, this Mason Montgomery's parents probably don't care about the other Mason Montgomery. No. But I did do baseball games that he did, and in high school he was throwing in the mid-90s. So there's no telling what he's hurling at this point with a good pitching coach making his way through the minors to the bigs. But again, it's football tonight. I could talk about baseball all day long, but it is football night, and the Lions with a big opponent. It is senior night here at the field for Hendrickson, which is a little early for senior night, but it is what it is. I guess they want to get it out of the way. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will read the sponsors to you. There was a delay, in case you're wondering why there's a late start on tonight's broadcast stream. There was a lightning delay, and that is possible to occur again probably in the first half. It's going to happen based on our camera person, Peter Casimir's weather report. Of course, we have a meteorologist on the staff here as our production guy, Juan Alanis, and, of course, joining me, Chuck Crazy, is Frank Rodriguez. And so we'll be back for Lion Football's kickoff in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the field. I'm Chuck Gracie, joined by Frank Rodriguez. On production, we have Juan Alanis. And on camera, Peter Casimir. We want to run down our sponsors as there is a little bit of a pregame delay. The gold sponsors include Bear Electric, LLC, Mercy Veterinary Hospital, Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, and Raising Cane's. Those are the silver sponsors, Bill Miller, RDZ, and Raising Cane's. The bronze sponsors are Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, TSO of Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Rob Incorporated, and JT Reinsdorf at State Farm. And, of course, the Lion Pride sponsors, A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repair, Grissom Insurance Group, and Black Rock Coffee. And the Lions are down there. It looks like they're going to forego the run-through tunnel because of the delay, more than likely. You hope it's not that's the travel tunnel. We have a much bigger one for the home games, but you got to hope that it's not an issue with it holding air. But you can see that Hendrickson also is foregoing the run-through tunnel for a run-through sign, which the wind picking up, they can't keep it together. It's Velcroed and it's already split. So there you go. So it's not really a run-through tunnel. It's kind of just a hang-out-there tunnel. Or couple of banners just look like flags at this point. But, it's early in the season. The Lions had a rough go week one. They always tell you on any football analysis show that you watch that the greatest improvement occurs between week one and week two for any team. Regardless, you want to see improvement every week, but we'd like to see significant improvement from the Lions. And, honestly, if they can just run the ball a little bit better this week, I like our odds. And there come the home Hendrickson Hawks onto the field. They're wearing it looks black, but they're actually, I believe, navy pants with a navy jersey and their navy helmets. And the Lions coming out on the field with their white jerseys, blue pants. They have blue numbers trimmed in red. Let's see, did I get a roster for Hendrickson? I thought I did, but oh, yes, I did. So that way we can call both teams.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, and so we think maybe we might have fixed the crowd mic. We're not 100% sure, but we got a little bit of an extension from the field staff here. We're very appreciative for those folks giving us that opportunity, and it sounds like we're picking up the crowd a little bit better. Maybe we can even bring the halftime show to you. Looks like we're going to be kicking off here fairly quickly. I would say within the next 8 clock minutes, not game clock, just our regular time. And we got the captains for the Lions are going to be number 74, and that is Mac Schlepper. Looks like we got number 14, which is Aiden Passe. And it looks like we're going to do the national anthem real quick, and we'll get the captains here in a minute. We'll turn it over to the field mic. The Hendrickson Choir will sing the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hendrickson High School Choir under the direction of Cassie Noble will be singing our national anthem.
Boy, it's just faint, but we're picking it up a little. And of course, that wasn't as good as we had hoped as far as picking up the choir, but they're way out onto the field and the microphone's here near the booth. But it does, as you can tell, we're picking up people in the crowd who are having conversations and actually started singing the anthem before it was time to sing the anthem. But let's get the captains for you again. The number 74, Max Schwepper, is one of the line captains tonight. It looks like we got number, I think I said 14, Aiden Passe. And as soon as the other two turn, I will give you their numbers and their names. It looks like one of them is Derek Pites, number 11, and it is, and I was wrong about Passe. It's number 84, not 14. That's Aiden Stericker. And the final captain for the Lions is going to be number 15, Isaiah Conley. For the Hendrickson Hawks, we have number 2, Maddox Quiller, number 0, Romelio Boykin, number 9, Oluseye Ekerdolu. That's going to be fun to say tonight. And number 74, Elijah Ford. And let's try that one more time. Oluseye Ekerdolu.
Say it again.
Oluseye Ekerdolu.
All right, that sounds better that time.
Pretty close.
Right.
It'll work for now until we hear the PA say it in a more appropriate way, and then we'll try to, if we hear that, we'll adjust.
Now, those are those big boys out there. That Elijah Ford, 6'5", 305 pounds.
Those defensive backs?
Offensive linemen.
Oh, the O-linemen.
And the defensive backs are out there. Romelio Boykin, and Maddox Quiller.
Those are two
6'1",
corners,
6'2".
right?
Yes, sir, and receivers.
Oh, they're playing both sides. So it looks like we have somebody won the toss. Let's see who they give. The Lions are going to be receiving it. I didn't see an indication that they won the toss. I'm going to assume they did and chose to receive until I hear otherwise. I didn't see a signal. Usually the white hat will tap a player that of the team that won the toss on the shoulder, and then they'll go on ahead and give the signal. But regardless, the Lions are going to start with the football tonight, and we'll see if they can stay ahead of the chains early, and maybe they'll get some momentum early, because that's one of the things that really hurt them in week 1 or week 0. I'm not sure how they number that. But they got in a hole a little bit. Part of it was self-inflicted. Part of it was Pflugerville's offense played pretty well. You got to give Cole Taylor, the quarterback of Pflugerville, a little bit of credit. And their running back had a pretty good game, Ryder Miller. So if they can stay healthy and keep their kids passing, they're going to have a pretty good team this year based on their performance on Friday night.
Yeah, and that running back, he had 160 yards rushing.
Yeah, it was a good night for him. And
he didn't look that fast, but he was gone.
When he had good offensive line working for him. So back deep for the kick is Zane Wooldridge, and looks like number 8, Tyler Mormon.
So we get some more magic for the Magic Man today.
And the kick's going to go out of bounds. That's one way to avoid Zane Wooldridge on the kick return game, is to kick it away from him out of bounds, and that's what they did. And the Lions will take the ball after a 5-yard penalty. It should be at the 35 or the 30.
Are they re-kicking it?
Oh, they are going to re-kick it. It looks like there may have been a penalty before the kick. Or maybe they kicked it without the whistle.
The ball goes out of bounds.
No, you can force them to re-kick, but there's still a penalty, right? So they got to move back 5 yards to the 35, and you see the Lions kind of move up to that Hawk 45-yard line. But the kicker's trying to still want to set it on the 40.
Well, I tell you what, they don't want to kick it to Zane.
Well, and there's a delay for some reason. The referees are trying to get their communications down, and they are going to allow the kick from the he's going to assess it, set the ball, assess the penalty, or signal the penalty, and then assess the penalty. And so the ball will be kicked from the Hawk 35-yard line. No time off the clock so far.
Hey, we look good so far.
Yeah. Still 0-0. Got all our timeouts. Let's see what we can do here. Is Wooldridge and Mormon switch sides, and the kick is going toward Wooldridge. He's going to field it at the 5. He's at the 10, 15, bounces outside at the 20. He's got the 25 up the sideline to about the 30, where he's forced out of bounds. They're going to mark him right at the 30, so the Lions have pretty good field position to open tonight's game.
Yeah, Mr. Magic Man looking pretty springy already.
Well, and that was a pretty slick move that he and Mormon pulled there, because they kicked it in that side. It just happened to go out of bounds, kicked it towards Mormon, and right before the kick was getting ready to happen, they switched spots. So when the kicker thought he was kicking to Mormon, he was really kicking it to Zane Wooldridge. And the Lions are already out in formation. They got 3 receivers here on the wide side of the field, 1 receiver on the far side. Logan Mitchell, of course, at quarterback. It looks like that's Gordon to his right or Hargrave. I'm not sure which. It is Hargrave, and Mitchell keeps it. He's going to pick up about 9 yards, where he's forced out of bounds by number 21, Pierce Loban. They're going to give him enough for the first down. So the Lions, will, even though he got 9 yards, they start on the 30. The ball's being marked at the 39. That's only a gain of 9, but they reset the chains. So
that was great moving by the offensive line. They got it moving.
So 1st and 10, Mitchell throws it out into the flat to Hargrave, and he gets stacked up right around the 44-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 5, and you like to see that. First down, you pick up 3-5 yards. You stay ahead of the chains instead of going backwards. And the Lions – in the past, not so much last week, but in the past had problems with pre-snap fouls. So we got 3 receivers top of the formation for Mitchell. He's going to hand to Hargrave straight ahead, right behind the center Casimir, and he's going to spin his way up near the first down marker. Looks like he's going to have enough at the 49, and they do move the chains. And so 2 first downs in a row for Leander. Ball 1 yard away from being in Hendrickson Hawk territory.
They're moving along just fine. They're making it look easy out there. They're getting good movement off that front line.
Well, it's a good way to build confidence early, to run the football, and they're doing that here. And the handoff's going to go – it's a fake to
there you go.
Gordon, and Mitchell keeps it outside past the 40 down to the 30-yard line for a beautiful gain inside Hawk territory. And the Lions just outside the red zone by a first down here.
And that was just good movement. Like I said, if he would have handed that ball off, it would have been the same regardless, because they were just – I mean, they were off the line.
That's why I thought he handed him, because it was open. Gordon probably was like, that's a huge hole. Give me the ball. But Mitchell saw the opening and gained about 14, 15 yards on that carry. 1st and 10, 3 receivers top of the formation. There's a snap. They're going to hand straight ahead to Gordon, number 21. And he's going to carry it for a gain of about 4, make it close to 5 yards, almost to the 25. Looks like they're going to mark it between the 26 and the 25-yard line. So make it about 2nd and 5.5.
Makes you wonder what that defensive coach is thinking. Right now, why is Zane not getting the ball? Why is he not getting the ball? So,
exactly.
Yeah.
That, and he was like, where was this team on film?
Right.
This is not the team we saw on film, although there were highlights offensively last week. The handoff's going to be faked and then tossed into the flat to Wooldridge. He's going to cut inside at the 20 and then back outside. He had to jump up into the air and get knocked out of bounds, but it is a first down Lions inside the 20. Well, I guess they're going to say he didn't quite make it. So it's 2nd and 1 or 3rd and 1 now. Ball at the 21. It looked like when he went out of bounds, he was beyond the down marker, but nonetheless, marked a yard short.
Yeah, I thought he hurdled that as well.
Yeah, I was worried that he might get hurt jumping in the air like that. Stay on the ground, son.
Right.
They're going to hand to Hargrave. He's going to have the first down over the 20. He's going to kind of cut back inside to the 15, and it'll be another first down for Leander as they're in the red zone now.
It's good to see Hargrave getting started early, because he's pretty shifty.
Yes.
I didn't get to see that much last game, but you see it now. It's pretty confident.
Well, and I think he ended up, who knows what the issue was, but he came out of that game for some reason. It may have been health, might have been an injury, maybe he was ill. Who knows? That first game, sometimes the cramps can get to you as well.
Well, it's good to have him right now for sure.
Oh, yeah. And the Lions are throwing pretty much the kitchen sink at Hendrickson so far. Mitchell's pass is complete in the flat to Wooldridge. He's kind of bounces around. He initially had it down to the 10, but he bounced back trying to gain more, and he's going to end up losing a couple of yards on that bounce back. But it's still a gain of 2 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. And the Lions, you don't want to come out of here with a field goal. I mean, you take points where you can get it, but the Lions want to stay ahead of these chains, get a touchdown here, build confidence for your offense, and
keep that momentum rolling.
Right, and get that defense fired up to come out. Mitchell going to the right, had a blocker in front of him, and that was Hargrave, and there's a flag in the area of what might be a hold on the end there, and that is not what you want. It looks like that may be Jacob Wells on the right tackle that may have gotten flagged there. Let's see what the referee says. Okay, I didn't hear the number, but he did indicate a holding, and Hendrickson will take it, and that'll push the line of scrimmage back to looks like the 23-yard line. And this is what I was talking about, staying ahead of the chains. Now you're looking at 2nd and 18. You got to get down to the 5. So you're essentially you can make a first down, but you're trying to score here.
Right. I think we all know what the next play is if we're trying to make the first down. Mr. Zane.
Yeah, or throw it up into the corner and see if he can go up over those tall corners and get it. Mitchell fakes the handoff, and then he hits in the flat Derek Pites, and he's going to carry it inside the 15 to the 14, and that'll make it 3rd down and about 8 for the first down for Leander, as they got it marked at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it's good to see that tight end coming across like that. They're respecting the run, setting it up, and here comes the tight end dragging across the field.
Yeah, it opened it up.
So
we'll see what they can do here on 3rd down and whether or not this is 2-down territory for Leander. Mitchell remains the quarterback. Hargrave now the running back. You got 2 receivers on the right side of the formation. There's the snap. Throw into the flat. That's a first down for Wooldridge on the reception inside the 5, and the Lions have a 1st and goal. I see no laundry on the field, so no penalties, and the Lions are looking at an early first quarter touchdown. Plus, they've eaten about 4.5 minutes off the clock here so far with 7:33 remaining in the first period.
When the field's wet, that's exactly what you want right there. Eat the clock, move the ball.
And it's beneficial in really in most cases, unless you're the greatest show on turf at Los Angeles, right. St. Louis Rams back in the day. I mean, you pretty much you shorten the game and give yourself an opportunity to win. That's what the Lions need to do tonight. Mitchell takes the snap, running left. He's going to have the score, and the Lions take the early 6-0 lead over the Hendrickson Hawks with 7:28 remaining here in the first quarter. That'll bring Rene Rodriguez out onto the field for the point after touchdown.
That defender wasn't no part of that quarterback right there.
That's a big kid.
That's a big kid right there.
That's a big kid running the football.
In the end zone, yeah, for sure.
And he absorbed that hit and just spun right into the end zone. So Rodriguez ready for the point after attempt. There's a snap hold, and the kick is up and good. And the Lions grab an early 7-0 lead over the Hendrickson Hawks. So, Frank, give us your thoughts on that opening drive for the Lion offense.
Man, it was awesome. I mean, it was collectively everybody was getting the ball. I mean, it started off with the quarterback running out the gate. I mean, who sees that? You're thinking sit in the pocket, throw some short passes, get some momentum going. He just went forward. Well,
and I guarantee you all week long they were watching Zane Wooldridge on film, and we talked about it pregame.
Right?
Yeah. Everybody's going to be watching him, so the Lions have to find those other weapons. And we saw it from Hargrave. We saw it from Derek Pites. Logan Mitchell's already demonstrated he can play, but he continued the hot hand at quarterback. And, we also had Kamarian Gordon come in and get a couple of decent runs. And so the Lions up early over the Hawks here. They're huddling on the sideline. Defense chomping at the bit to get out onto the field here, and they'll get their opportunity. Back deep to receive the kick for Hendrickson is going to be Maddox Quiller.
Did Logan miss any completions on that last drive?
I didn't see any incompletions. Okay, I don't recall
last
any.
Game he had 140.6 quarterback rating, so
that's almost good. Perfect.
Right. And that's what you want right there. The quarterback can run and gun.
Yeah, and protect the football. That's one of the keys. And the Lions did have an interception. It wasn't Logan Mitchell who threw it, but they did have an interception that was a pick six, and that'll hurt you. It'll take momentum away from you. So Rene Rodriguez with a kind of a pooch kick to the right side of the field, and it's fielded by number 32, and he's tackled immediately. I did not see a signal for a fair catch, but it'll be decent field position for the Hawks at the 32-yard line, looks like.
I guarantee next time he's gonna throw the signal out there. That looked brutal.
I don't think he was expecting to be getting the football, to be honest. And Rodriguez, to me, that was intentional. Rodriguez certainly has a greater leg than that. He was hoping that it would fall in between the lines, might get a quick recovery. At quarterback number 5, Pete Vallejo, he's going to take the snap and pitch it out to his running back, who runs straight ahead, and he's wrapped up almost immediately by number – did you get a number on that?
Let me see.
Number 13, Jake Bridwell.
Yeah, Mr. Bridwell, he led last week with 13 tackles.
He got Defensive Player of the Week for the Lions. The running back for the Hawks is Michael Anderson, next to the quarterback Vallejo. He drops back, throws it into the flat. It's complete to number 8. He's ridden out of bounds immediately. That's Carnell Spicer on the reception and on the tackle, Malachi Filan. He's about a yard short of the line needed for a first down. So 3rd and 1, ball at the 41-yard line of the Hawks. And the Lions, big play here. If they can get a stop or maybe a loss on the play for the Hawk offense, we might see a punt. And they bring a blitz in. They had a chance, but the running back able to avoid that blitzer.
That was good pressure, though.
And I like the call.
Yeah.
But he carries it up over the 46. The 47 does Michael Anderson, and he's stopped there by number 42 for Leander, Chase Milne. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 47. There's a handoff to number 13 coming across the formation. He's going to get tackled from behind by 5, so that's Gabriel Guzman being tackled by Calvin Kessler, who also had a ton of tackles last week for the Lion defense.
He had 10 tackles last week.
It's going to be 2nd and 7 now. Yeah, anytime you get into double digits with tackles, that's pretty impressive.
Against Pflugerville.
Yeah, anybody, really.
Yeah,
but yeah, even Pflugerville, because that's those aren't little guys; those are big guys. You're running up against. So
yeah, that's good defense right there. That pursuit drill, they're definitely going over it this week because they were all on the way to the ball.
2nd down and 7 for Vallejo. He's going to throw it in the flat, and
there you go.
Was that a catch and a fumble? I don't think he ever caught it. But they are indicating that he did catch it and he's tackled immediately. Are they no?
Yeah, I think they backed it up.
Yeah, they did. They give him a loss on the play of about a yard and a half. And the side judge on the Leander side is indicating incomplete, but based on and they get it back to the normal original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd down, and as it's marked, 3rd and 10, ball on the 47-yard line.
He sniffed that out for sure.
Yeah, that pass was to Carnell Spicer, and that was Malachi Filan coming up to make the play from that cornerback spot. 3rd down and 10 for Hendrickson. This is a big play here. The Lions can get off the field defensively, give their offense the ball back. Running back now is Brandon Mosley. They're going to hand to him straight ahead. He's got a little bit of a hole. He's in the open. He's at the 40. And he's forced out of bounds by number 8 for Leander, Tyler Mormon, but not until after he picks up a first down for Hendrickson at the Leander line, 30-yard line. 5 minutes remaining in the first. The Hawks in a hurry-up mode now as they're back in formation. Mormon on defense, but Mosley remains the running back, and it's going to be number 8, Carnell Spicer. And we have a flag behind the play. It's usually in an area which usually would indicate a hold against the offense. We'll see what the signal is. It is a hold against the Hendrickson Hawks, and so they'll step off a 10-yard penalty from the 30, and it'll be 1st and 20, line of scrimmage at the 40 now.
It's just real important for Leander to keep their composure here. We're playing good defense. It's just that one busted play is all that was.
Right, and even if you give up points here, I mean, it's just a tie ball game. But you have an opportunity during the last set of downs to get off the field, and they're able to pick up a first. Now it's 1st and 20. That's a significant need to get a first down. I mean, 20 yards is a lot. So, absent a big play, I think the Lions can get a stop here and force a field goal attempt. Running back will be Mosley. They're going to carry it straight ahead, and that's Viejo. And he's stacked up by that line front, a whole pride of lines led by number 4, Nicholas Parsons, senior linebacker. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 21, and we have 3 backs in the backfield now for Hendrickson. They get in a little bit of a running mode. Viejo, and then one of the running backs is out of the formation. That's Boykin, so it's Morgan, the running back behind Viejo. He's going to throw down the sideline. Had a nice pass. Had a receiver. He just threw it a little bit too long. That was intended for Carnell Spicer, and the Lions dodged a little bit of a bullet there. Could have been close to a tie game with that pass. Had been a little bit short of 3:46 remaining here in the first. It's 3rd and 21. This is probably 2-down territory for the Hawks, so defensively you probably got to get 2 plays here.
They got Woolridge in there at DB now. Make sure that doesn't happen again.
And Vallejo is looking to throw, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Boykin, and it's going to bring up 4th and 21. And with no gain, you know, there is the potential that there'll be a pooch punt here, and it looks like they're going to bring the punting unit out. I mean, you get 7-8 yards, you probably go for it on 4th down, but they do not, and so they're going to bring out the punter, and that is going to be Grady Williams, number 12, back deep for Leander. I suspect and am correct is that it's Zane Wooldridge, and we'll probably see the punter punt away from Wooldridge. So Williams waiting on that snap. He gets it foot to leather, and it's a short punt, and it's going to bounce inside the 10, and it's going to roll down to the goal line, and they're able to down it. The Lions have their back against the goal, and
he got close there. He looked like he touched the line.
Very close. You got to give credit there. Good decision by the Hendrickson coaching staff. Doug Pierce deciding to punt there on 4th and 21 instead of trying to just move it down the field or attempt a field goal. And now he finds his defense with an opportunity in front of him, the Lions. This is a good learning opportunity because nothing helps your momentum more than a 99-yard drive for a touchdown with 3:28 remaining here in the first. So we'll see what the Lion offense can do as they come out onto the field.
Look at the first drive. I think we should keep it vanilla and just hand it off to 21 and let him get his yards and give us some space to work.
Yeah, Hargrave and Gordon, give them the ball. Right now it's going to be Hargrave next to Mitchell in the backfield. 2 tight ends in the formation with 2 wide receivers on either side. Shotgun, so there's the snap, and they're going to hand to Hargrave. He's going to get some room up over the 5, close to the 6. They're going to give him the 6-yard line, so that'll make it 2nd down and 5. And so Mitchell has a little bit of breathing room now. You're still close enough to the goal line that you can't risk a mistake here, but obviously a couple of good runs, and you get a 1st down, another set of downs. And Hargrave will remain the running back. Pites and Wooldridge are the receivers on either side of the formation. There's the snap. They're going to hand to Hargrave again. He spins his way forward. He's up past the 10, bounces outside to the 12, 15, and runs over 1 or 2 Hendrickson Hawk defenders to carry it up to the 16.
Hey, if they're giving you 6-7 yards, keep running it. Stop it.
And one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this early part of this game is just the short-term memory, the lack of, like, we moved on, and we're seeing what this offense is capable of here tonight against a team that shut out its opponent in week 1, the Belton Tigers.
A good team, too.
And so the Lions, if they can go up 14-0 here in the first or the first half, and that's going to go straight ahead. It looks like it's Hargrave again up to the 20.
Rumbling, stumbling, bumbling. Look.
Check that. That's going to be Gordon on that carry for the Lions up to the 20-yard line. So a gain of 4 is going to bring up 2nd down and 6 for Leander. Hargrave will remain the running back for Leander. Mitchell still in the quarterback role. And now that the Lions have a little bit of breathing room, we'll see if they change formation. They do. They bring 3 receivers here to the near side of the field. The fake to Hargrave. Mitchell with a little toss pass looking like Arch Manning in that game against Colorado State as he gets it over to Wooldridge. He carries it up to the 40. What an athletic play there by Logan Mitchell as he's coming near the line of scrimmage. The defense collapsed towards him, and he just flipped it out. What's that guy's name for the Kansas City Chiefs? Mahomes or something?
Mahomes.
He kind of does stuff like that every once in a while.
Even if he was past the line of scrimmage, that was behind.
Well, you only have to have a part of your body behind on.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be behind. It has to just be on. So 1st and 10 for the Lions that flip out into the flat to Hargrave. Pass a little behind him. He's able to grab it up over the 40, 45, 50. He's into Hawk territory down to about the 43 where he's tackled by number 21, Pierce Loban. And the Lions with another first down and another drive as the offense is clicking here in the first quarter for Leander.
They make it look easy out there.
Yeah. This is definitely not the same kind of cadence and execution that we saw last week. I'm just going to assume that based on my own experience playing football, there was a lot of pop-ups and running that happened this week, and that'll get you motivated.
Right. A lot of fire in you.
Gordon in at running back next to Mitchell. We have 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. There's the snap, and Mitchell's going to run to the right, look to throw. He's going to tuck it and run, get up over the 40 to the 39. And we have a penalty flag down. That could possibly be a hold. It was right in front of Mitchell. That was Camarion Gordon with the lead block. And Leander coaches coming out onto the field to get an idea of what the call is. And it does look like it's going to be assessed against the Lions. More than likely it's a hold, and it is.
This is the same ref crew from last game?
I don't think so.
Okay.
At least it's a different white hat.
Right.
That white hat last week was a shuffler. This guy looks like he actually lifts his feet up and runs. So it's a spot foul, so they'll mark it from the 40. That'll put the ball, the line of scrimmage, back to the 50. It'll remain first down, so the Lions will have a 1st and 17. This is a long way to mark it off, though. 33 seconds remaining here in the first.
Gordon in the backfield.
Yeah, it will remain Camarion Gordon, the running back. We've got twin receivers on either side of the formation. Wooldridge in one of the slots here on the wide side. There's the snap. Logan Mitchell rolls to the short side, hits the receiver. And I believe that's probably Parker.
Yeah, that was number 6, it looked like.
It was either 6 or 8.
Montgomery?
Yeah.
Montgomery's out there receiver?
Well, that happens a lot. You want to get on the field, you're the backup quarterback. Sometimes you got to play a little receiver.
64 yards rushing last game, so he's
athletic.
athletic.
He's athletic, yeah. So it is 2nd down and 6 for the Lions, and they're going to let the time expire here in the first with a 7-0 lead over the Hendrickson Hawks. Let me give a quick shout-out to our sponsors here in the first half. These sponsors go a long way in supporting this program. I mean, there's costs that are just come out of nowhere, and you've got to cover them somehow in the Booster Club, and their sponsors do that. Let's shout out the gold sponsors, Bear Electric LLC and Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors, Bill Miller's Barbecue and some place called RDZ Roofing.
Yeah, that guy's okay.
He's all right.
They're pretty cool.
Raising Cane's is also a silver sponsor. In case you don't notice, Frank runs RDZ Roofing, owns it. So the bronze sponsors, Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, Texas State Optical Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Rob Incorporated, and JT Reisdorf at State Farm. And let's not forget the Lion Pride sponsors. These are people that have children in the program, and they also own a business, and so they're able to sponsor, and they include A+ Septic, Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, Black Rock Coffee, MLD Services, and my paper cut off there. So if I missed anyone, I apologize, and we will get you in the announcements. I'll pull up my email here and get your name called here in the second half. But I just want to reiterate that not only you, Frank, but all of the sponsors, we really appreciate the contribution. Yes, it does. It does take a family, and this is a family. It's Lion Nation, And we want to thank you for listening to us. We want to thank the folks at SHN Sports for their support and hosting of the games. And so as we come out of the quarter, it is second down and 6 yards to go, ball marked at the Hendrickson Hawk 39-yard line. Mitchell, the quarterback, is going to hand to Hargrave, and we have a whistle before the snap, and I don't know, and it's going to be a false start. And there's one of those pre-snap fouls, and that'll push the line of scrimmage back behind the initial line of scrimmage for this set of downs. It'll be second down and 11 now as they move it back to the 44-yard line. And the Hendrickson faithful brought a little bit more, which you would expect on their home field than Leander. Leander usually travels pretty good. I'm surprised we don't have more fans in the stands, but maybe the rain kind of.
Thursday.
Yeah. Well, and it is Thursday, and you have two broadcasts going, ours and Dave Campbell's.
Right.
There's a fake and then a throw down the lane to Wooldridge, and he had an opportunity, but it looks like his feet got tangled up. I guess they're going to say that's incidental contact because it looked like there was definitely contact. You don't see Wooldridge fall down very often.
He was double covered, so one of those four legs got in.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of a step. The pass from Mitchell looked like it might have been there, but the stumble slowed Wooldridge down enough that it was a little long and falls incomplete. 3rd and 11. We're just under 12 minutes in the half, remaining in the half. Mitchell breaks the huddle for the Lions. It's Hargrave, the running back. The receivers at the top of the formation are Jaramillo and Zane Wooldridge. Mitchell rolls that direction looking, fires it towards the sidelines, incomplete, out of bounds. Looks like he was trying to get it to Wooldridge. He had a couple of defenders bracketing him on the sideline, and the Lions have a decision here on 4th and 11. Obviously, you want to try to pin the Hawks like they did you in this same area. So they're going to bring out the punt team. Mitchell a little frustrated. I guess he wanted to go for it on 4th and 11. But, around midfield when you got a 7-point lead, you're going to punt here in this situation.
Especially the way they're playing. I mean, they're answering every single call. I mean, the first drive you had that big holding call, and they made that up. And then over here that busted play, and they made that up. So,
right.
I mean, just continue with it.
So Rodriguez back to punt, gets the snap, gets the kick off, and it's going to bounce at the 5 and take a line bounce and be down right around the 3-yard line by number 5, Calvin Kessler. And Rodriguez, he was a special teams player of the week for Leander. It's easy to pick the kicker every week, but when you punt punts like that, that's an easy way to get yourself picked player of the week. We saw his older brother kick for the Lions the last couple of years, a very effective kicker. Both grew up playing soccer and both a part of the Lions soccer program, and it's an excellent program here at Leander. They go deep in the playoffs quite often. So pistol formation for Jaramillo, or what was his name? Vallejo. Sorry about that. Jaramillo was one of the Lion defenders. We have a penalty flag before the snap, and that's generally a false start. It's going to be half the distance. That'll put the ball about the 1.5-yard line, so it'll be first down and about 12.5 yards.
They got a little antsy. They seen the Lions come up on the line. They were stacked right there.
And why not? I mean, you got your opponent against their goal line. If you can get a fumble down here, that's easy points. And the Lions plugging all the gaps as the quarterback sneak from Vallejo does not go very far, about a yard maybe. And it'll be second down and about 11.5. Of course, it's hard to figure out who made that stop because there were so many Lions down there. Isaiah Conley and big number 77 who's running off the field, Javier Gonzalez, in on that stop. So it is now 2nd and 11. Gonzalez, he's running off the field because he was replaced by Caleb Lemire.
Lawson did a good job there with the old big boy 74 over there.
So under center is Vallejo. He throws down the sideline. It's intercepted by Malachi Filan. He runs into his own player, but he's going across the field. He's at the 10-5. He's going to take it in.
That's how you do it.
And
We'll take
Vallejo
that.
got him a little revenge hit as he crossed the goal line, the quarterback. You don't see them getting a lot of hits, but Malachi Filan was right in position for that. He ran into one of his own players, but he was able to bounce off of that and get outside across the field and take it in for 6, and the line's up 13-0 with Rodriguez out for the point after attempt. His holder, number 84, Aiden Stericker.
I mean, that quarterback left it up there, and 12 went over there and executed that all the way.
Yeah, I didn't see, but it's possible that somebody got a hand on the ball or the quarterback's arm, because it did look like it just floated out there. And so the Lions add the extra point from Rodriguez to push the lead out to 14-0 with 10:18 remaining in tonight's first half. And it looks like the weather, just as our in-house meteorologist Juan Alanis predicted, is pretty much cleared out. We have some cloud cover, but it doesn't look like there's any rain or lightning over the horizon that I can see.
Yeah, that was an app on his phone. He made the weather go away. That's pretty good.
You're a good meteorologist when you can make the weather. So kickoff now. This is the second line kickoff here of the first half. They will be kicking to Hendrickson to open the second half. So you want to try to hold them here and maybe get one more score going into the half. Back deep for the Hawks is going to be Maddox Quiller to receive the Rodriguez kickoff. Takes his run up, toe to leather, and it's a deep kick. It's going to be fielded by Quiller. He drops it at the 3. He's able to pick it back up, and you got 4 lines right there, and the Hawks with their back against the goal line again, this time at the 8-yard line. They're going to give him the 9, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Hendrickson, and the Leander defense coming out fired up as that special team sets them up.
They look real hungry tonight.
Boy, I tell you what, nothing worse than disappointing, an authority figure in your life, whether that's your parents, your coach, or whatever, and you know that the coaches expected more last week than what they got on the field and probably demanded it this week, and we're seeing the results of that. And this is a team, you hear a group of Lions or a pride of Lions, but this team has actual pride, and we're seeing it on display.
Now. Yes, sir.
High snap, but he's able to field and hand it off to 23.
Did we get?
No, it was a fake. He faked me out. The quarterback kept it. That was, but no gain on the play for Pete Vallejo.
5-yard loss.
In fact, he lost about 5 yards to the 4, and so it'll be 2nd down and 15. Boy, my vision's going bad.
It's the rain droplets on the window.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
They sold that fake very well because I bought it.
Yeah, we keep pressure on that quarterback. He's only a sophomore, so I mean he can break the will early in the game.
Yep, Anderson, the running back with Vallejo. And no, check that. It's number 11. They're going to hand straight ahead. That's Mosley, and he gets close to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to give him the 9, so it'll be 3rd and 10. For Hendrickson. Huge play here for the Lion defense. They've been able to minimize any Hawk effectiveness here so far in the first half. 9:24 remaining in the half. It's Mosley, the running back, next to Vallejo. Little pass over the middle is complete to number 1, and the defensive lineman number Milne there to wrap him up. That receiver was
Caleb. That was nice right there.
It looked like he was wearing a 1. Maybe I read it wrong, but it's not on the roster. So
he had no room to make any moves right there.
It was number 4, Antonio Cleveland, is who they tried to get that football to. And you're right, because Milne, Lemire, number 55, came in and just swallowed him up.
He wasn't going nowhere. It was him and the turf monster taking him down. Uh-oh.
A little rugby-style kick as he gets his foot into it, and Wooldridge with a fair catch in line territory at the 46-yard line. That's where Leander will take off. And that was a great punt there by Grady Williams, the Hawks kicker, as he went rugby style. And
hey, I thought for a split second he was 88 out the gate on that one.
It looked like, and that's one of the advantages of a kicker that can do that. And a lot of times those guys played goalie, or rugby. In college you see guys that are kickers all the time, punters especially. It's like they're from New Zealand or Australia or something, and then you find out that they're a rugby player or Australian rules football guy, where they really kicking the football while you're running is part of the sport. So it will.
Another quarterback who's
Montgomery in the game now for the Lions, and he'll fake it and keep it. He's past midfield at the 45-40. He carries it out of bounds to about the 38, and what a great way to start your first series if you're Mason Montgomery. Fake the handoff to the running back, E.J. Hargrave, and, I don't know, pick up 18, 20 yards. That'll work.
He's just picking up where he left off last time, 64 yards rushing. Come on.
Well, and he got some confidence late in that game, leading the Lions to a touchdown. He's got 3 receivers to the wide side of his formation. Hargrave, the running back, right beside Montgomery. And he's going to give it to Hargrave with a long delayed handoff. And Hargrave's in the open 25-20, and he's forced out of bounds right around the 20-yard line by number 2, Maddox Quiller. And it's another Leander first down with 7:58, looking to go up a third score if they can finish off this drive.
They look like the Leander Express out there. It's just one way.
This looks like when you played.
Hey, don't get me started.
And they break the huddle. The Lions, they're ball at the 19-yard line. Hargrave, the running back, next to Montgomery. 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. They're going to hand to Hargrave straight ahead behind the left guard. He picks up about 5 yards. It's going to make it 2nd and 5. Ball now at the 14-yard line of Hendrickson.
And the good thing about this is everyone's getting the ball right now, not just the Magic Man.
Right.
He's still our weapon. He's still there. It's good to see everyone.
He's a decoy right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they adjust, then you go to him.
Right.
When they have to adjust for Hargrave or Gordon or Mitchell.
He's sitting out there like that voodoo dove right now, just waiting.
Yeah.
Decoy.
He's going to have his chance, that's for sure. There's a snap. Montgomery fakes it. He's going to keep it. He's up over the 10, runs over the defender to pick up the first down. What a run by the quarterback, Mason Montgomery. And that is number 42 taking the brunt of that punishment. Jaden Strong is able to make the tackle, but, man, that's a tooth rattler right there. You don't expect that from your quarterback very often.
You expect that from the running backs, but you got both quarterbacks over here laying the wood on these defensive players. Like, someone's going to need some ice after the game.
Yeah, they're both big boys. Montgomery, well over 6 foot, as well as Mitchell. He's got 2 running backs now, does Montgomery, 2 receivers to the wide side of the formation. The Lions, Hendrickson or Leander, one of them called a timeout. It looks like it is Leander that called the timeout with 6:23 remaining in the half, Frank. It's like Jekyll and Hyde from this week to last week. And I can tell you that there's no way that this Hawk team is worse than that Pflugerville team that we played last week. I believe that they're every bit as good as Pflugerville.
I just think that after losing to Pflugerville last week, the guys kind of felt that kick under the belt, if you will, and they kind of woke up and
it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
It does, and it's one of those you can lose sleep over it. I mean, it's kind of like losing your girlfriend.
Yeah,
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it does distract you, but that's the great thing about nothing great about a loss. But when it's early in the season like this, you have an opportunity to make it right. And we talked a little bit about it last week. You can go 0-3, 0-4 outside of district to run the table, and you win district. My senior year, we won our first game, then we lost 3 in a row, and we ran the table. And the only team we lost to was, of course, Leander in district. But
it happens.
Yeah. Well, it was well before your time, about 20 years. So they had a running back named David Brown. That guy was a beast.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you how old it was. There was still grass on AC Bible when we played there.
Oh, didn't have that AstroTurf.
No, it
that
didn't have
spongy
that
stuff.
that Houston
Right.
Houston Oiler AstroTurf.
Tear up some knees with that.
Fake and a
There you
pass
go.
complete to Hargrave by Montgomery. He's
Oh,
there for the
yep.
score. E.J. Hargrave reaches out for the pylon, and the Lions push the lead out to 20. Nice fake by Mason Montgomery there as he rode the running back Gordon, and Hargrave released, and as he was going down the sideline, he hit him in stride. And then great effort by Hargrave to get the ball
Hargrave's
inside
having
that
a great
pump.
night. Since his first handoff, that boy's been running like no other.
I'll tell you what, the players of the week must have got something nice because everybody
Right.
they might not have had to do the pop.
I want a Rolex, right?
The point after is up and good by Rene Rodriguez, and the Lions quickly, as quickly as you can in about a quarter and a half, up 21-0. I want to shout out those last couple of sponsors that my printed page cut out. It's Milo Aquatics. They're a Roll Pride Level 2 sponsor along with Modern Shade, and then a Roll Pride Level 1 sponsor, Dignified Dwelling, Central Texas Real Estate. We'll shout all those sponsors out again in the second half. And again, we thank you guys. Nothing is more pleasing to a guy like myself than to know that my community supports the high school that my kids attended, that my future grandkids will likely attend. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to play football. That's just the way it is.
Right, I don't want to hear nothing about it.
Yeah. I've
Like,
already decided, even though they're not born.
You
or
want
anything.
Christmas? You want birthdays?
That's right.
You better play football.
You want to see Paw, you better be out on the football field. So back deep to receive is going to be Maddox Quiller for the Hendrickson Hawks. And right now my wife is saying they're not having kids. Number 32, Rene Rodriguez to kick for the Lions. He boots it. That's going to go into the end zone and then out of the end zone. You see the leg there, that the capability.
He's not a big guy, but, I mean, he's got a leg on him.
Oh, yeah. And his brother was the same way. Ultimately, though, we haven't seen him kick a touchback to this point in the season, and that's because he's trying to pinpoint those kicks and, force a muffed kick return. So Vallejo, the quarterback, in at running back, looks like it's going to be number 28, Devin Parker. Pass thrown into the flat and complete to number 0, Romelio Boykin. He's bounced out of bounds after a gain of 2. And that is number 2, Malachi Filan.
I know Coach Lopez had some tackle drills this week because these guys have no options after they catch that ball. That's just to the ground, and that's it. There's no running. There's no. Yeah,
they had good tackling at points last week, but we've seen a marked improvement in the Lions' tackling here tonight. Running back right to the side of Vallejo. High snap. He's going to fake to him and flip it in the flat to Boykin, and he's wrapped up from behind after a gain of about 3 yards, and that's going to be number 8 for the Lions, Tyler Moorman, making a good play on what could have been a big play from Romelio Boykin as he had a couple of blockers in front of him.
Yeah, they were trying to take a page out of Leander's book right there.
Yeah. Well, and it would have worked if Boykin didn't, or who made the tackle again? It was, well, regardless, if he didn't come up, it was number 8. Moorman, if he didn't come up and make that tackle from behind and trip him up, that could have been a big gain, at least a first down. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Vallejo is going to be sacked. He's going to barely get it past the line of technically it is a sack because it's behind the down marker.
44 right there.
And that is number 44 with the sack for the Lions, and that's Virgil Garcia getting him a nice tackle. And we have an injury for Hendrickson. And is that the quarterback, Pete Vallejo Jr.? Because
I mean, you hate to see that.
Yeah.
Gabriel, he jumped on him like a swamp monster.
Well, he didn't want him to get away from him.
Yeah.
Obviously, any quarterback is pretty fast, and that is Pete Vallejo Jr., the sophomore starting quarterback for Hendrickson. Number 4, Antonio Cleveland, is listed as a quarterback on the roster for Hendrickson, and he appears to be the only other player. Well, he is the only other player with quarterback listed on the roster. That doesn't mean they don't bring somebody else out, but currently it will likely, at least for a couple of plays, be Antonio Cleveland, who's he's had 1 reception, but he got tackled right away on his 1 catch.
I mean, most of that time possession, the first half already spent with Leander. We've got 4 minutes and 39 seconds left in the half.
Well, and that's another advantage that you can give yourself with your arrested defense. As long as they can keep their intensity level to where it's been, then, pretty good odds in the second half you're going to keep pulling away from this team. And it looks like Vallejo is going to come off the field under his own power, and the Hendrickson Hawks will bring in a backup. We'll see. It looks like they're going to bring the punting unit out because it is 4th and 9. So we may not see the backup quarterback because Vallejo may be ready to come back in by the time Leander gives the ball back to Hendrickson. So the punter out on the field, Grady Williams. Back deep is
Mr. Magic Man,
Zane Woldridge. And we have a whistle and a timeout, Leander, with 4:26 as Coach Price wants to probably reiterate some just fundamentals.
exercise the timeout rule,
Well, that you don't want to. We left one on the field at half last week, but I think he's. Hey, watch this. Make sure you field it. A fair catch is fine in this situation. You don't have to make a play, Zane. I mean, if you got a play, take it, obviously. But, you just want to make sure that you end up in good field position as you close this half. You don't want the ball to go over Woldridge's head. We saw the punter, Williams, get a little bit of a rugby-style kick out in front of it's a different kicker. It's Devan DeCock is the kicker out here, number 37. So he's the rugby-style guy. It looks like they do shift to a wider formation. And Woldridge lining up around his own 30. High snap. DeCock is able to kick it. And it takes a hawk roll to the Lion 30, and it just stops right there. And so it will be Leander football with 4:14 remaining. And so the Lions will come back out with their offense. Can they push it out to a 28-0 lead here against Hendrickson? We've said it a couple times. It's like night and day from what we saw last week. We saw a lack of confidence at times. We saw the momentum stay with Pflugerville for large chunks of the game, and we're seeing just the opposite here tonight. I mean, the Lions have grabbed the momentum early, and they've done everything to hang on to it that they can. 3 receivers at the top of the formation.
Quarterback Montgomery got his receiving gloves on down here.
They're going to hand off to DeMarvion Gordon, and he's able to carry for a first down into up to the 44.
You say that boy's from Arkansas?
Camarion Gordon, yes.
Oh, man, that's pig suey all day right there.
I know. Hey, you get a little interest from the Hogs running their way back.
Looking like McFadden.
He's not quite as big as old McFadden was, but he's still got time to grow. He's just a junior.
Oh, man.
He's lined up to the left of Logan Mitchell. 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation. They fake to Gordon, and Mitchell keeps straight ahead, picks up about 3 yards to the 47-yard line. We'll make it 2nd and 7 here with 3:55 and counting in the half. crowd mic hasn't been perfect tonight, but we have been picking up the crowd, and we hope that it's streaming. We're going to turn it up for the band so you can watch the halftime show. We got 3 receivers here on the wide side of the formation for the Lions. Gordon, the running back, and they fake to him, flip it into the flat to Wooldridge, and he goes down immediately. But there was a flag down already before that play started. Perhaps it's an offsides because they did not stop the play before it was snapped, which is generally what happens on a false start. But it's an illegal formation. So they don't stop the play on an illegal formation. They just assess a 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, which was the 47. That'll move it to the 42, where it will be second down and 12.
Yeah, Hendrickson's D-line is glad to see that flag right there because they're over their hands on the hips. They're gassed right now.
Well, and it's such an advantage to have your defense rested while the opponent's defense is gassed. Yeah. So we'll see if the Lions can take advantage here in the last 3.5 minutes. They kind of put themselves a little bit behind the chains with that illegal formation. 2 receivers either side of the formation. They'll bring Wooldridge in motion. They fake to Gordon. They flip it into the flat to Wooldridge. He cuts up at the 50, 45, and he's forced out of bounds. First down, Leander. Gain of about 14 yards to the 44-yard line of Hendrickson. That'll stop the clock with 3:22. And, you put yourself behind the chains, you flip it out to the sideline to Zane Wooldridge. He erases that mistake.
Mr. Magic Man.
Like the magic eraser.
Right.
3 receivers, top of the formation. Gordon, the running back, and he'll get the handoff going to the left. He'll cut in. He kind of put his brakes on it. It looked like he was wrapped up, and then he kept his balance, is able to squirt forward for a yard. It's going to bring up second down and 9 for the Lions. And Montgomery comes into the game for number 17, Travion Gordon, the brother of the running back, Camarion Gordon.
Hendrickson changing out their nose guards to get some fresh legs out there.
You almost have to at this point. Gordon, the running back, next to Mitchell. 2 receivers either side of the formation. There's the snap. Throw is over the head of the receiver. That was Zane Wooldridge. And there's a little bit of a miscommunication between Montgomery and Wooldridge. As Wooldridge looked like he wanted to come back towards the line of scrimmage, and Mitchell looked like he was kind of leading him the other direction. So the clock stops at 2:38, score 21-0. Lions will take their time in the huddle. Still 20 seconds on the play clock. Gordon remains the running back beside Mitchell. Gordon rolls to the short side of the field, flips it in the flat, almost intercepted. Unable to hang on to it for Hendrickson is number 22, Cannon Laywell. And we have a penalty flag. Or no. I guess not. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 9. So the Lions will bring out the punting unit. Rene Rodriguez will look to see if he can pin the Hawks again here. His last punt. Put the Hawks on the 3-yard line. Put a nice little backspin on it. Takes his time, no rush. Gets a nice spin. Ball's going to bounce at the 10, and it's going to actually roll into the end zone. Good punt. It was angling towards the sideline, but it just went a little bit too far and beyond the goal line before it did exit the field. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Hendrickson at the 20 with 2:25 remaining. And, with them getting the football at the opening of the next half, you really don't want to give up any points going into the half here. And they have plenty of time. And it does look like the second-string quarterback, Antonio Cleveland, senior number 4, will be the quarterback. So Vallejo still out of the game for Hendrickson. It's a pistol formation. Mosley, the running back. 2 receivers either side of the formation. There's a snap, and they hand off, and there's nothing there. And I checked, that wasn't Mosley. It was number 22, check that 23, Michael Anderson. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Did you see who made the tackle?
Number 99.
Big 99. That's Timon Lawson for Leander. And it's going to be 2nd and 10. Great effort by the Lion defense so far tonight. Really just all facets of the game the Lions are clicking on so far tonight. So Cleveland remains the running back with Anderson, or the quarterback with Anderson, the running back, and they try to throw a screen to Anderson, and it's completed. And he's able to break a tackle up over the 25 to the 27, brought down by number 12 for Leander, Tyree Smith. And I really like the effort from Big 77 downfield, getting a hand in on the stop is Javier Gonzalez. You don't see those guys coming off the line of scrimmage that often on a screen and making a play like that.
He knows that film is running.
Hey, you get a little bit of love when you make a play like that on film time. It's 3rd down and 3 now for Cleveland and the Hawks, and they're going to hand to number 23, Michael Anderson, and he will pick up a Hawk first down, and that's one of their first of the night.
And that was Evan Perkins with the tackle there.
So that'll be 1st and 10. We're under a minute here. Clock moving at 50 seconds. Cleveland looking to throw up the left sideline. Long, deep pass, and it's almost intercepted. What a catch as it bounces off of Tyree Smith's hands, and number 2, Maddox Quiller, comes up with it with 38 seconds now in Lion territory at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Hendrickson, and they'll burn one of their timeouts here with 36 seconds remaining. And, boy, I'd like to see that on replay. It looks like, and maybe they'll play it here on the stadium. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Doesn't look like they are going to.
I thought that was for sure an interception right there.
Well, it looked like he was lining it up for just that. And Coach Price came out on the field indicating incomplete. But obviously the call goes Hendrickson's way, and so the Lions got to try to avoid giving up points here and at the very least force a field goal attempt of the Hawks here. You don't want to give them a cheap touchdown here because they will get a little bit of momentum from that, and they'll also have the football to open the second half.
Like I say, collectively, Leander's playing great defense. Great defense. It's just these 1 or 2 plays that they get, and
well, and we'll have a quick, halftime discussion here in a minute. We'll keep it to a minute or 2, because the bands and the dance team will be out there before you know it. So, and we'll head out and take a break while you're entertained by the halftime show. Quarterback remains Cleveland. The running back now, Brandon Mosley. Got 2 receivers on both sides of the formation. There's the snap, and they hand on a jet sweep, and it's a reverse. And there's a lot of open field.
Get him.
And that is number 8, and he's going to get down to the 5-yard line. They kept him in bounds. That's Carnell Spicer. And 20 seconds remain. 1st and goal from the 5 for Hendrickson, and they'll likely burn one of those timeouts right here. And they do. And I guess if you're going to do it, that's the time to do it. And the Lions over-pursued on the jet sweep. And, they're fortunate that Spicer didn't carry that into the end zone. They did a good job of preventing that from being a score. And you just got a couple plays here. You got a gut check time, right? You got 20 seconds. Easy to say from the press box. But it's time to dig deep, bow your neck, whatever other football phrase you can think of to stiffen up and stop an offense. They need to do so right now at 1st and 5.
Yeah, definitely protect the momentum going into halftime right here. A good stop right here will be perfect for the morale of the team.
That'll benefit the momentum that the Lions have. And it looks like they added 2 more seconds back onto the game clock for Hendrickson to work with. So the Lions got to burn a little bit more than I had originally said. They got to get it down to 22 seconds off the clock instead of just 20. But Hendrickson only has one timeout, so you got to make two big plays, right? You get a loss, keep them in the field of play, they'll burn a timeout, and then you just got to make one more stop. And they'll come out of from the sidelines into formation with the quarterback being Antonio Cleveland and the running back number 11, Brandon Mosley. They're going to throw it to the corner of the end zone. Wooldridge and the receiver battling for the ball, incomplete. Clock down to 17 seconds now, 2nd down and 5. Good defense there from Zane Wooldridge. There's a little bit of contact from both players.
I'm glad the ref let them play because that was pretty aggressive. But, hey, it was nice defense, though.
Yeah, I think it was both guys were kind of pushing on each other. And sometimes the referee, if you don't know who's initiated it, you kind of just have to let it go. I've never seen an offsetting interference call. So.
First time for everything.
Well, there is always a first time for everything. And if we're going to see it, it's going to be in Texas high school football.
Right. At the P field.
So 2nd down and 5. Mosley, the running back, behind number 4, Cleveland. They're going to hand to Mosley straight ahead, and the Lions are going to swarm. He's pushing the pile, but the Lions are able to stack him up at the 2, and the clock's going to keep ticking.
Tick.
And it's down to 5 seconds before the timeout is called by Hendrickson. It is now 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 2. 3rd and goal from the 2. So they get one more play. And, we were talking about, and they moved the clock back to 5 seconds, but it's still going to be one play. So we talked about digging deep. Now you got to dig extra deep, right?
You got to make sure to take care of that for sure. Because, this is a difference right here. There could be a difference in the ball game right here.
Yeah, it could be. You know what? I'm still stunting. I'm stunting my front.
Oh, yeah. You got to think they're going to pass here. I don't think they rely heavily on their run right now.
I don't know, man. This close to the goal line, and with that effort on the last play, I might run it to Mosley again, but I'm slanting my defensive line to the wide side of to the short end of the formation and scraping my linebackers to the wide side. We'll see what happens here. As 3rd down and goal from the 2, the line defense comes out from the sideline ready to go. Big play here for both teams as the Lions look to keep a stranglehold on the game's momentum. The Hawks trying to snatch it away before halftime. Long huddle, and the referee comes to break up the Hendrickson Hawks huddle, and they'll come out into formation. Cleveland, the quarterback, number 11, Brandon Mosley, the running back. 2 receivers on the wide side of the formation, 1 here on the near side. They bring the tight end in motion. They fake to Mosley. Good pressure on Cleveland. Throw across the middle, and the pass is incomplete. It hit the receiver. That was a good pass from Cleveland, and that's going to be the half in the Lions.
That was great pressure right there. Exactly what they needed.
We'll do a quick halftime show. So, Frank, we've been, if they've been listening, they know we've been talking about it. The momentum, just the effort all around on all phases of the game for the Lions has just been top notch. Give us your thoughts on the first half.
Leander's running just flawless offense right now. They're just running as they please. Nobody can stop them. Just keep running. Both quarterbacks came out and showcased their skills a little. Logan Mitchell, I don't think he's had an incomplete pass all game. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen,
there's one drop.
One drop, okay.
And it wasn't because of an errant pass.
Okay.
But, we've seen the interception. I think I miscredited that interception. I think it was Tyree Smith who intercepted that. I think I gave that to Malachi Filan on the call. I apologize. But we're really excited because the Lions really showing out tonight and really putting their future opponents on notice that, week 1 was an aberration.
Man, defense is looking great. They're getting some pressure back there. They're not getting pushed off the line. What can you do to them right now?
Right now, they look like the best team I've seen all season.
So, yeah.
So we will take a halftime break. We'll turn over the camera and hopefully the crowd mic to the band and the dance team, and we'll be back for the second half. Stay with us here on SHN Sports.
Kill it, kill it, kill it. Mason, jump on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again for the incredible Leander High School Bluebell. Featuring the music of Peter Gabriel,
Oh my God, there's going to be some lots going on. He brought it to Gage's locker room. Like, damn.
From Leander, Texas, the Leander High School Marching Band. Leander Band would like to thank their incredible band parents, Raising Administration, football team, and Coach Chris Price, as well as all of the Bluebells and their coaches, Ashley Williams and Lupe Summer. Leander Band would also like to wish the members of the Hendrickson High School Band and Color Guard best of luck on the rest of the season. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Summit Jewelers, Adam Lowy Law Offices, SOSN Woodward, Spectrum Services, Waste Logic LLC, Elise Manual Therapy, Link Architecture, Megan Schneider, Independent Defense Contractor, All-in-One Home Solutions. Let's hear it one more time for the Leander High School Marching Band. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field the Robert E. Hendrickson Hot Band and the Silver Dancers of Pregame, Texas. At this time, please welcome to the field the Hendrickson High School Silver Dancers. The 24-25 Silver Dancers are led by officers Captain Ayla and Sierra, First Lieutenant Bruce Farnell, Junior Lieutenant Maggie Stedman. Social officers include President Ian Hamandre, Social Officer Alan Cooney, Social Officer Bruce Shirley. The Silver Dancers are under the direction of Autumn Fleet and Marielle Schneider. The Silver Dancer of the Week is Shaylin Navarro Calero. The Spirit Girl of the Week is Paige Cannon. And the Third Big Man of the Week is Natasha Hunter. And now, please enjoy as the Silver Dancers perform their calm routine to Superstition. students who go above and beyond for the program. Our first year Hop Band Member of the Week is Jone Anon. Guard Member of the Week is Jillian May. Percussion Member of the Week is Kenny Martinez. The Hop Band Member of the Week is Lena Simpson. And the section of the week is the saxophones and the low reed. And now let's welcome to the field the Robert E. Hendrickson High School Marching Band. Drum majors Nathan John, Ashton Estes, Liam Hackett, and Madeline Stevens. Is your band ready? The Hop Band is proud to present selections from their 2024 production entitled There Will Come Soft Rains.
Welcome back to the field. About 5 minutes away from kicking off the second half as the Hendrickson Hawk Band winds up. We're going to give you some scores in the area. It's Thursday night, but there's some games going on. Frank, what do you have in terms of scores here tonight?
We got Chaparral versus Manor New Tech, which is a new school, 54-0 Chaparral.
So that's Colleen Chaparral, right?
Colleen Chaparral, yes, sir. We got Pflugerville, who we played last week, versus the Hayes Hawks, 34-0.
That supports what we saw last week from that Pflugerville team. I think Pflugerville's going to fly under the radar for a couple of weeks for some teams. When they roll around into district, people are going to be a little more focused on preparation than they have been in the past for the Pflugerville Panthers. And that offense led by Cole Taylor and running back Ryder Miller is going to make some noise here in Central Texas. And there's an additional game in the Leander Independent School District. It is a 6A game as currently Vista Ridge trails Austin Bowie in the third quarter by a score of 17-14. Originally, Juan gave me a 17-6 score. It looks like Vista Ridge just recently scored and got the 2-point conversion to cut it to 3. Tomorrow night, Killeen takes on Killeen Ellison, Rouse, and Liberty Hill in what could be the game of the week in the area. We also have another contender for that game of the week status, Cedar Park and Vandergrift, a rivalry game. We have Georgetown's going to take on Belton, who lost to this Hendrickson Hawk team. The Lions are playing in week 1 by a score of 14-0. Eastview hosts or visits Burnett, and Glenn will travel to Copperas Cove on Saturday for a game, and that'll be week 2 as we make our way toward district play. And it looks like the Lions tunnel crew fixed whatever issue there was with the run-through tunnel, as it's back up here for the second half, and maybe that performance in the first half inspired the tunnel crew dads to get out there and make sure that thing was up and ready for them to run through to open the second half.
Maybe they want to get them too shocked with the water and the extension cable.
Well, that could be too. You never know. That is the road tunnel, much smaller than the home tunnel that's used. Those things are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I was in some of those meetings when they were discussing a new run-through tunnel, and I'm not going to throw any figures out there, but, man, I could have a decent truck for the cost of what that run-through tunnel is.
It's about time to start making some of those. Huh?
Right. Well, obviously you need the machinery to make something like that. It's not something you hand sew the seams there. But
You too.
We're producing one tunnel every 6 months or something with me sewing it, that's for sure.
Right.
So we saw some big first halves from Lions on both sides of the football. We want to give Logan Mitchell as well as, let's see who else had good. E.J. Hargrave had a pretty good first half, as well as number 21, Camarion Gordon. Pretty good first half. Mitchell and Montgomery both had pretty good first halves as well. Zane Wooldridge, one of the primary weapons for the Lion offense, has not been silent, but
he's been on ice.
Yeah, they've been focused on him in the Lions. We mentioned it before the game started that they're going to have to find some guys to step up because defenses are going to focus on Zane, and we've seen that those guys step up in those other positions, and we'll see what Hendrickson does here in the second half to try to slow down the Lion attack. For Hendrickson, offensively, Vallejo was having an okay game. He ends up getting hurt, and the backup, Antonio Cleveland, the senior quarterback, comes in and drives Hendrickson down to the 3-yard line. Threw a pass, it hit the receiver in the hands, but he dropped it. There was a defender there, so it's possible that it got knocked out, but from my angle I couldn't tell. It looked like he just dropped it. The Lions out on the field now through the tunnel as we get ready to start this second half. We're about 8 seconds away, and the Hawks are doing some warm-ups here around the goal line. I'm not sure. I suppose because it's senior night here for Hendrickson, they're doing the senior cheerleaders, and that's going to take a couple more minutes. I'll relay an experience I had as the PA for Leander about 5-6 years ago. It was senior night, and I was reading all of the seniors from the band, from the dance team, from the cheer squad, from the ROTC, from the football team, and it was just a massive list. And every 2 or 3 minutes as I'm reading through the list, somebody comes running in with a sticky note to add another person that was forgotten. And the referees actually called the referees in the booth that run the clock, the white hat on the field, and said that if I don't wrap up in 3 minutes, that there will be a 15-yard penalty against Leander. So I read as fast as I've ever read in my life. And you should have seen the parents and the seniors. It looked like it was in fast motion because they were shuffling as quick as they can because they had to keep up with me, and they didn't know that we were going to be penalized. So, and I don't know if that was just a threat by the referees to get me to go a little bit faster. It worked regardless, but I don't see any of that going on down here tonight. And it looks like they have wrapped up, and Hendrickson will receive the football, so the line defense will be back out on the field unless we see some type of onside or muffed kick return by the Hawks and the Lions happen to recover. It's going to probably be Leander's defense to start this third quarter.
Yeah, if that defense can stay stout like they did the first half, I think we'll be good. Then we get a chance to milk the clock.
I tell you what, you give up. I mean, to a good team, granted, we're seeing that Pflugerville's better than advertised, and but if you can go from giving up 54 to a good Pflugerville team to not giving up any to a decent Hawks team, we'll take that. That's we talked about the most improvement between week 1 and week 2. We've seen a massive improvement in effort, execution, just all of the facets of the game.
Yeah, Coach Price getting them done right, getting them ready for this week. Short week, so, I mean, he had his hands behind his back. So.
Well, that may be a blessing in disguise, that short week, because you got to get it done. There's no messing around. Rene Rodriguez with the kick. It's a little short pooch kick, hoping to get a fumble, and there is a muff on the kick, but the returner able to get on it at the 31 where Hendrickson will have the football. And that is exactly what Rene Rodriguez wanted when he kicked that ball up in the air, and that looks like the returner that muffed that is number 28, Devin Parker, for the Hawks. 1st and 10 now for Hendrickson. The ball marked at the 31-yard line. 5 seconds of runoff of the third quarter. And so Cleveland will remain the quarterback, so Vallejo must be hurt. Or they just like the momentum that Cleveland gave him. He almost gets wrapped up and is able to pitch the ball off at the last second, and that was to number 2, Maddox Quiller, and he was going to gain about 3 yards to the 35-yard line. Tackle made by Malachi Filan.
Yeah, he looked like he got about 20 yards there, but it was all east and west on that.
Yeah, that was a lot of effort, and Antonio Cleveland did everything he could to avoid a sack there. I didn't see which line gave the pressure, but he was about a half second too late from getting a sack. Pistol formation for Cleveland. Mosley, the running back. They'll fake to Mosley, drop back by Cleveland. He's getting pressured. He's going to run the ball. He tucks it. Get initial contact from 25 of the Lions, but he runs through the tackle of Liam Walters and is wrapped up by Malachi Filan at around the 39-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
I'll tell you what, that Timon Lawson was back there, and he even knocked the helmet off that lineman. He just applied all that pressure, made it kick it out to the side.
He wants to stay out on the field, I think. He's getting a blow right now as they bring in number 77, Javier Gonzalez, who's made a few plays here in the first half. And the Lions are getting good penetration from that middle of the defensive line. Cleveland, the quarterback, takes the snap, fakes to Mosley, and we have a whistle.
He's lucky to have that whistle.
Yeah, because that would have been a loss. And that may have been a timeout, a timely timeout Nope, it's a false start. That's going to push it back 5 yards and make it 3rd and 7. Line of scrimmage is now going to be the 34-yard line.
Yeah, those Lions were back there, and they were hungry. I'm telling you. They were about to about to make a mess of that quarterback.
Well, 3rd and 7 is a much better situation for Leander's defense than 3rd and 2, although they were about to get off the field. So we'll see what happens here as Cleveland and Mosley are in the backfield for the Hawks. They send Mosley out of the backfield. Cleveland carries straight ahead, is able to shed 1 or 2 tacklers, but he only gets up. Well, he's real close to the first down. We'll see where they mark it. Looks like he's got enough. He ran behind that right guard and got a pretty good surge there towards the end. Good effort by Cleveland to keep the Hawk drive alive. 10 minutes and counting here in the 3rd. Mosley, the running back, beside Cleveland. And they're going to snap directly to Maddox Quiller. And the ball's on the ground, and the Lions are acting like they recovered it on the sideline. We'll see what the signal is.
Out of bounds.
I'm not sure what the call is. It looks like they will retain possession and get a gain. Well, there's a discussion at least by the referees. And that
was close right there. I think he might have got it before he stepped out of bounds.
Well, and we've seen a referee who sees it overturn another ref's call, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen here as it's now 2nd down and 2 from midfield for Hendrickson. We've got an empty backfield for Cleveland. 3 receivers on this side of the formation, the wide side, and 2 on the narrow side. Cleveland thinks about running. He does. He's able to break 1 tackle. He'll get the first down, and he gets lit up right around the 45 of Leander. And that is number 29 bringing the wood, Louis Ruiz-Williams. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. The ball is going to be at the line 44, and we have an injured player.
Yeah, Garcia got back there pretty good. But
for the Hawks.
Just got to hold on to that quarterback. I mean, there's 2 missed tackles.
And that is their quarterback, Cleveland. So they're either going to have to bring Vallejo out or run some kind of wildcat. If Vallejo cannot go, it is a 1st and 10 with 9 minutes, 18 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they got Maddox back out there for the wildcat.
Yeah, and it looks like they got Maddox Quiller is going to run quarterback, and I wouldn't expect to pass from this 3rd-string quarterback. I could be wrong, but I'd gamble that it's going to be a run every time. Quiller able to find the lane. He's in the secondary. He's at the 30. He's run down from behind by Tyler Mormon at the 22-yard line of Leander. And Hendrickson able to keep it going, but now Antonio Cleveland coming back into the game for Hendrickson. So that he does look like he's limping a little bit, so maybe then one of those wheels is not feeling as good as it was a few plays ago. 8:45 remaining here. He'll drop back. He's getting pressure. Pass is complete inside the 10 to the 6. That was to Carnell Spicer, and it will be a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And the Hendrickson coaches lit a fire under this offense as they come out moving the football against Leander with 8:30 remaining in the 3rd. Straight ahead, it goes to number 11, Brandon Mosley, and the Lions stack him up around the 1-yard line, push him back. They're going to mark him at the 1. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that quarterback for sure went to the sideline, got a pass job, and came back in and threw one up. That was pretty good.
So Bridwell credited with the tackle, and Conley looks like he may be dealing with a cramp of some kind. It looks like the kind of treatment you get when your calf cramps up and they push that foot towards your knee, your toes towards your knee to stretch that calf muscle out. It looks like it's more than likely the situation here.
Time to bring out the pickle juice.
Yeah. I have nightmares about that game, the Eagles-Cowboys game that one time, and they had the pickle juice out and just it's horrible. Let's shout out the sponsors real quick. The gold sponsors are Bear Electric LLC, and Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors are Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, and Raising Cane's. The bronze sponsors are Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, TSO Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Robb Incorporated, JT Reisdorf at State Farm. And we'll get the Lion Pride sponsors after this play. Cleveland, the quarterback, number 11, Brandon Mosley, just to the side. And they'll hand to Mosley, and he bounces around, gets dropped in the backfield right at the 1-yard line. Who is that? Number 8 getting back there to make a play, Tyler Mormon.
That's number 5 right there, the number 5 back there.
Calvin Kessler. So the Lion Pride sponsors, the Level 3 Roll Pride sponsor is MLD Services, LLC. We'll get third down and goal. They're going to hand off. No, they're going to fake it. And the quarterback, Cleveland, able to score for the Hawks and get their first touchdown of the evening here with 7:44 remaining in the third quarter. The Level 2 Roll Pride sponsors are Modern Shade and Milo Aquatics, and the Roll Pride Level 1 sponsor is Dignified Dwellings, Central Texas Real Estate. The point after attempt being lined up by Devon DeCock, and he's able to knock it through. And the score now 21-7 as the Lions still hold a 2-touchdown lead, but the momentum shifting a little bit here early in the second half towards Hendrickson, and the Lions just need to respond here offensively. This will be their first possession of the second half. One thing that Hendrickson did in that drive is eat up a lot of clock. About 4 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock on that drive. So if the Lions can do that as well, end up with some points, maybe burn off most of this 7 minutes and be going into the fourth quarter with a 3-touchdown lead, you kind of like your odds. One thing the Lions can't do is make mistakes here, and they can't worry about making the mistake. They just need to execute, right? Because what happens when you focus too much on not making a mistake?
You're going to make a mistake.
You're going to make a mistake, right? And that's why you practice over and over and over so that it just is second nature muscle memory. Back deep to receive the kick, we have Zane Wooldridge as well as E.J. Hargrave.
If Leander just sticks to the running the ball like they were the first half, we'll be okay right here.
Weird kickoff formation, potential onside attempt here by Devin DeCock. We'll see if he puts his foot into it. He does get a nice kick. It's going to hit the ground and roll out of bounds, which will be a penalty flag. We'll see if the Lions make him kick it again. And I need to check that the kickoff guy is different than the field goal guy. This is Edward Tidings was out to kick. Looks like the Lions are going to take the football. So they'll put it at the 25-yard line where they'll have it 1st and 10 here. As I said, their first possession of the second half. Oh, wait, they're going to move it up to the 30, rather, on this near hash.
We got fresh legs right now, so we got that going.
Hey, there's no excuse, right? You had an opportunity. You went in. You got a little bit of praise for your execution in the first half, but what was the message? I can guarantee you it was, hey, we got another half of football here. Let's not be walking around like we won this football game, because you have not at this point. Logan Mitchell, the quarterback, E.J. Hargrave, the running back. We have 3 receivers at the top of the formation, a single receiver here on the near side. Mitchell takes the snap. Rides Hargrave, decides to keep it straight up the middle. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. He's at the 45, the 40. He's down to the 30, and he gets kind of ridden down in one of those awkward, wasn't quite a horse collar tackle, but never a good tackle. But Mitchell pops up with a great run on first down.
Yeah, that was number 6, Montgomery, right there.
Oh, it was Montgomery.
So White Lightning right there.
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. They're both similarly built.
Yeah.
You expect
doppelganger.
Right, you expect Mitchell to come out, and Coach Price throws you a curveball and brings out Mason Montgomery. He rips off a 40-yard run to open the drive. Has 2 running backs on either side of his formation. One of those is Zane Wooldridge, the other E.J. Hargrave. There's the snap. Throws it down the sideline. It is Wooldridge, rather. He wasn't in the backfield. He was at the wide receiver slot, and he catches it at the 1. Make that the 1-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Leander.
That's exactly what Leander needed.
No, it looks like they're putting it at the 3. If there was a referee marking it on the opposite side of the field at the 1, but it looks like it's going to be the 3-yard line. Great catch by Wooldridge there. And you can see why he's getting some interest from some Division I schools. I heard pregame, don't know if it hasn't been confirmed, but I heard pregame that Oklahoma State is interested in his services in college. And that's quite an offense to go participate in. They're going to hand to Hargrave off the left side. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe pick up an inch or two, but not much there. 2nd down as that Hawk defense on the right side shuts down the lane. And give the credit for the tackle to Deontay White. Big fella, number 71 in there making the play. He doesn't miss very many mills there lining up at the nose.
Oh, no, not at all.
Now 2nd and goal from the 4, 6:26 and counting.
There you go.
Montgomery keeps it for the score. With 6:16 remaining, the Lions answer the Hendrickson Hawk opening drive of the half with their own to run the score 27-7 point after attempt.
That offensive line is pushing. I mean, he had a gap a mile wide on that one. I mean, he could have just walked in backwards in that one.
You know, they got really excited as an offensive line when the coaches said, hey, we're going to try to run as much as we can and shorten this game in the second half. I speculate that was the message, but that would be my message. Rene Rodriguez able to poke through the point after to run the score to 28-7 Leander with 6:16 remaining here in the 3rd. A lot of football left to be played, but you got to like what you see from the Lions here tonight.
I mean, you don't know which quarterback you're going to get. Either one.
Well, and you got to know, right? A 6 looks like an 8, very similar. And from up here, without my binoculars, I just assumed it's an 8, and it was a 6. And if you're on the field, you might not notice because, like I said, they're similarly built. Both of them run the ball well, but Mason Montgomery runs the ball a little bit better. But he shows he can throw the ball too down the sideline to Zane Wooldridge. And so Lions with a big lead here, 28-7, getting ready to kick off. Moving right to left on your radio dial in case you're listening. Most people watching the stream, but occasionally, you have to drive somewhere. Maybe you're Ubering and you're paying attention to Leander football and you're hearing this. So Lions will be kicking from the right side of the radio dial deep to the left side, back deep to receive that kick.
What was that time of possession, like a minute and some change?
Yeah, that's one thing that you want to do a little bit. I mean, you don't – you score a touchdown, you score a touchdown. You're going to take it every time, right? But your defense got to get a little bit of rest here and there.
Right.
So. And that's where the long possessions are beneficial besides shortening the game. Mosley back deep along with Carnell Spicer for the Hawks. Rodriguez with a little pooch kick and a fair catch made at the 35 by number 7, Noah Henderson, and that was a very alert play, and the coaches for the Hawks are on to Rene Rodriguez with those little short pooch kickoffs. We'll see if he starts booting it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, they learned their lesson the first time we got it.
Well, the Lions almost got one already tonight, and that's why you do that because those up guys aren't expecting the ball necessarily. So Cleveland back out as quarterback. It looks like he's got Mosley as the running back. Check that. The running back's going to be number 20, Artis Duncan. Cleveland changing the play at the line of scrimmage, pistol formation for Hendrickson. They're going to hand off to the running back. Nothing there for Duncan. He said 74. Mac Schwepper, one of tonight's captains, getting in on the action with a tackle there in the middle of the field. He'll give up a total of about a half a yard, maybe a yard, make it 2nd and 9 for Hendrickson. Let's see if the Lions can put 3 good defensive plays together here and get off the field quickly. Cleveland in the pistol. Duncan to his side. It's going to be kept by Cleveland. He's going to be tackled from behind, but he's able to lunge forward. It looks like he's going to pick up a first down. That was number 37 on the stop for Leander, Evan Perkins. But the new line of scrimmage is the 49-yard line of Hendrickson.
Yeah, Evan had an opportunity to come off the edge right there and get tackled for a loss, but that quarterback's just a little fast.
He's quick. You see why he's able to play that position. He'll keep the ball on essentially a wildcat formation and carry it up to the line 45 for a gain of 6.
That was Romulo Boykin, one of those tall DBs we was talking about. 6'2".
So he's playing quarterback, huh?
Yeah, they're doing what they have to do right now.
Yeah, and that's number 2, Maddox Quiller coming in. It looks like the backfield's going to be Quiller and Mosley. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback or who's going to be the running back. It looks like it's going to be – I can't see his number at the moment. It is still Cleveland. He's dropping back to pass as a receiver open, and it's caught down to the 10 by number 2, Maddox Quiller. And he is tackled by who is that? Number 25 on the stop, Liam Walters. But it'll be a first and goal from the Leander 9 for Hendrickson, and we have another injured Hawks player. And that was a pretty good tackle there by the Lions, but still they're going to give him the 8. So it'll be first and goal from the 8. But, Hendrickson's not going away. They're going to make Leander earn it here in the second half. And, that's where you hear the phrase, once you get your boot on their neck, you don't lift it up, right? You keep it there. And if you don't, what happens? They start coming back, right? And we knew this was a talented Hendrickson team. They beat what is generally regarded as a pretty good Central Texas football team in the Belton Tigers last week, beat them 14-0, so they shut them out. We got an update on the Austin Bowie Vista Ridge game. Bowie on top of Vista Ridge 23-21 at probably the end of the third quarter. The Hawks huddled up on their sideline during the injury timeout. The players off the field, so they'll bring them out on the field here pretty quickly.
Yeah, Leander needs to come into this just like they did before the half. Just come in here, play defense, get a stop, get the ball back, and just continue to milk that clock and score.
So Cleveland, the quarterback, the running back going to be number 11, Brandon Mosley. 3 receivers in the wide side of the formation for Hendrickson. They'll bring one of those in motion. That's number 12, Nwangu, and they're going to carry straight ahead with Cleveland, and he just meets a whole pride of lines there in the middle, no gain. In fact, he may lose a yard on that play. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for Leander, Isaiah Conley, and also looks like, is that Calvin Kessler?
They have number 99, Timon.
No, it looks like E.J. Hargrave's out there on defense, and so that's who was in on that as well. Hey, you got to get out there sometimes, play both ways, right?
Hey, whatever works.
Second down and goal from the 9, pistol formation, twin receivers either side of the formation. Mosley, the running back behind Cleveland. They bring a man in motion. Cleveland looking to throw over the middle, and it's too high and through the hands of number 0, Romelio Boykin. There on coverage for Leander, Malachi Filan, making sure that it wasn't going to be an easy catch regardless. And it's now third and goal from the 9, and this is a huge play here for Leander to see if they can start or force a field goal attempt here.
Yeah, Leander's getting great pressure on the defensive line. That big 99, Timon, I think his name should be Pumbaa Lawson. Because that kid's getting back there, and they cannot stop him. There's a surge, and that quarterback knows he has a short fuse to throw that ball.
So Hendrickson in a pistol with twin receivers on either side of the formation. Cleveland looking to throw. Throws a slant, and what a catch for a touchdown to number 3, Braden Mueller, the sophomore wide receiver. And sometimes you just got to give credit to a good play. And that's
all fingertips right there.
Yeah, he hung on to it. If you need a jar of pickles opened, you probably ask Braden Mueller to open that because he's definitely got strong hands, able to hang on to that ball there.
Something from the top shelf for sure because that kid was reaching. He got it.
So the point after touchdown coming up for Devin DeCock is good. And it is now a 28-14 score with 3:32 remaining in the third. Leander still on top, and they'll get the football back, and we'll need to answer that touchdown by the Hawks so that they can wrestle back the momentum here heading down the stretch. You'd like to see them burn at least this 3 minutes on this offensive drive for a couple of reasons. You want to shorten the game as best you can, but you want to give your defense a little bit of a rest because they've been out on the field a lot tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Price had it written out that way, but, you know, when you get out there on the field and number 6 is out the gate like that, I mean, it's hard to slow that clock down.
You just take it. Yeah, you just take it. You're not going to tell the guy, hey, take a knee once you get 10 yards down the field in the third quarter. It's just not going to happen. So back deep to receive for Leander. It's going to be Zane Wooldridge, and it looks like we got a new returner on the other side. I can't really see his number because of the angle. And he'll likely receive it. Let me see if I can get a look here. It looks like it's going to be 25, Liam Walters. Kicking off will be
little pooch.
A short kick. Wooldridge picks it up at the 20. He's up to the 28. He's kind of stopped there, hesitated, kind of danced a little bit, and was tackled by number 20, Artis Duncan. But it'll be a 1st and 10 for Leander with decent field position at the 28-yard line. 3:25 remaining in the third. Lions will huddle on the sideline after the kickoff, as will the Hendrickson Hawks. And the Hawks come out onto the field. Lions still in the huddle on the sideline. We'll see who comes out at quarterback for Leander. It will be Mason Montgomery. He'll be back out for his second series of the second half. The running back beside him appears to be Camarion Gordon. It is Gordon. He's carrying over the 35 to the 40, pushing the pile past the 40 to the 42. What a run by Gordon. And, you know, we really didn't see a whole lot of Gordon in week one because the Lions had a lot of trouble running, especially up the middle against that Pflugerville defensive line. But we're seeing what Coach Price saw in Camarion Gordon in the spring and what he talked about on the First Lion Nation podcast of the season, which, by the way, podcast number 2 coming up next week. I believe it's on Tuesday, and it's at the restaurant. Walks it to you. I was going to mispronounce it and say something wrong. Thank you there, Juan. Gordon is in the open. He's at the 40, 35. They're not going to catch him.
88.
Oh, they might catch him. They do inside the 10 at the 5. Gordon had a nice touchdown run kind of taken there at the last second, but you give him credit for about a 60-yard carry on that play.
That offensive line's like 8 yards down the field pushing defenders, so I mean, you're going to get that every time, and that's perfect.
Yeah, Camarion Gordon's loving the production from his offensive line right now, like as is Mason Montgomery.
Right. That offensive line is pushing them for sure.
Pistol formation, Gordon to the right of Mason Montgomery, 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. They'll hand to Gordon again. He's up towards the goal line. He's going to be stopped just shy of the goal line. Maybe they're going to give him the half-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it just inside the 1. 2nd down and goal for the Lions. And, you know, I can see Mason Montgomery just taking this snap straight ahead behind Ryan Casimir to pick up this touchdown. In fact, this is the only time that I get really frustrated that we don't put the quarterback under center
right.
when you're this close to the goal line.
Push.
Yeah. So Gordon will be the running back. They're going
to
fake to him, and Montgomery able to lunge forward for the score. And the Lions answer 34-14 your score with a point after touchdown coming up. Leander has answered every question that the Hendrickson Hawks have slapped him with.
We're going to run the ball. What are you going to do about it?
And that's right. We've basically done that. I mean, a few passes here or there, very effective ones at that, but Hendrickson doesn't know what to do with this offensive line tonight. Rene Rodriguez pushes through and hits the screen there on the scoreboard to make the score 35-14 Leander, 1:42 remaining in the third. The defense got a little bit of a rest, but they need to come out and just suck it up and get a stop here. Otherwise, we're just going to keep trading touchdowns with the Hawks, it looks like.
Yeah, another pick six would be great right now.
Boy, that would really swing the momentum in the Lions' way significantly if they can get a turnover. Even if they don't score with it, if they can get a turnover. So 1:42 remaining in the third quarter. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Rodriguez will come out to kick. You know, Hendrickson, despite having to run a carousel of quarterbacks out there, here in the second half, they've moved the football on the Leander defense. So you got to give credit to that Hendrickson offense. But we knew all along, Hendrickson, if there's one thing they have, is athletic players. And we've seen a lot of that athleticism, and they've been able to manage a couple of touchdown drives here in the second half as a result of those guys making plays, despite their starting quarterback being out for half of the second quarter and all of the second half so far.
We got 4 touchdowns scored and a minute and 42 seconds left in third.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a offensive half, that's for sure. And it looks like there's a penalty being assessed against the Lions. I guess that was a celebration penalty, and they'll be kicking from their own 25-yard line. I didn't see the penalty flag go down, but evidently there was a penalty after the touchdown. So Rene Rodriguez is going to try to – I would assume he's not going to short this kick. He'll probably boot this one.
I think he hit the end zone from here.
He might. Definitely on a roll if he gets the ball turned over. He's getting about a 10-yard run up for the kick. Total leather, and he gets a nice kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 20, carried right up the seam, and the Lions will swarm around the 35 and get Romelio Boykin. He'll gain no more than the 33-yard line, and that's where the Hawks will have it with about 92 seconds remaining here in the third. You know, the one thing about it being Thursday night, regardless of what happens in the game, I have a tough time going to sleep on a Friday night after a game. With it being Thursday night and with us being up, if we can come out of this with a win, I may not get in bed until 2 o'clock, and I got to work tomorrow. You know, this is work, but it's not a real work.
Right.
So Colleen Chaparral takes down the new Manor High School, Manor New Tech, in a final 54-0. That handoff by the Hawks is going to go to number 22, Hunter Hicks. He might have gained a yard to the 34.
Then number 5 was back there again. Oh, Kessler.
Kessler making a bid here early for some district recognition at the very least. Not the biggest linebacker in the world, but he is very effective tackler, and he's quick. And he's got good – you know, sometimes people don't give the credit to linebackers. They have to have the same kind of vision running backs have. You have to see that hole and get in it. 2nd down and 9 for the Hawks. They're going to hand to the running back coming to the near side, and the Lion defense swarms. And the Lions know that there's not a lot of passes going to occur here with the second and third string quarterbacks. Getting up off the bottom of the pile, big 74 for Leander. Mac Schwepper. 2 running backs in the backfield with Cleveland, and then they'll shift the formation to a pistol. Dropping back to pass is Cleveland down the left sideline. Has a receiver open, and he's able to catch it. And another big play from that Hendrickson offense down to Carnell Spicer. And there's another example of the athleticism that you you just knew Hendrickson had at their disposal. And just as soon as I say they're not going to throw the ball, they're going to run, they throw a 45, 50-yard pass down to the 21-yard line for a 1st and 10.
That was Romello Boykin.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter as the time winds down. So the Lions up 3 scores just like they were at half, but Hendrickson knocking on the door as we head into the 4th and final stanza of tonight's ball game.
Yeah, Romello Boykin and Maddox Quiller have definitely showed that they are playmakers on this team.
Yeah, we knew that they would have athletes at all of their skill positions. And, if there's one area that they're suffering a little bit offensively, it is in that quarterback position. And we've seen flashes of brilliance from Antonio Cleveland. The Lions had Pete Vallejo pretty well figured out. In fact, the replacement at quarterback, while it wasn't a result of poor play necessarily from Vallejo, but due to injury, has really benefited the Hendrickson offense. It's given them a spark. 12 minutes away from victory for Leander. They're back against the wall here defensively, and it's probably a good time for the quarter to shift because you get at least a minute and a half of a chance to catch your breath. There's nothing worse than as a lineman, especially a 12-play drive or an 8-play drive or a 10-play drive, and you just get gassed. It's like if you've ever, wrestling has gained a lot of popularity here in Central Texas. Leander has a great wrestling program. Those guys are in shape, man, because if you've ever wrestled anyone or boxed anyone, any kind of contact combat sports, man, you get really tired in those. And football is just like that, especially in the trenches, because there's a lot of pushing and handwork and trying to stay balanced as guys try to knock you over. So Cleveland in at quarterback still with number 20, Artis Duncan, the running back just to his left. We got 2 receivers near side of the formation, a single receiver out on the wide side.
Big Timon Lawson's out there, nose guard. Could we get some movement?
They're going to hand it to Duncan straight ahead with a little bit of a counter action, and he'll carry it up to the 15-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 3. Make it 4. They got to get down to the 11. Clock moving at 11:40. Duncan remains the running back with Cleveland the quarterback, pistol formation, twins either side of the formation. They bring a guy in motion. It's a pass. He gets a pass completed over the middle for a touchdown.
And there he is, number 2, Maddox Quiller.
And he's having a whale of a second half for Hendrickson with 11:26. The score now 35-20. Leander on top. And again, the offense is just going to have to answer. He got a step on his defender, and it was just a good pass. And, Antonio Cleveland, whether he earned the starting position in the spring or not for Hendrickson, he's certainly earning it here tonight.
Oh, yeah, he did good there. Lion got in the backfield, put some pressure on him, and he still threw that ball up there for grab.
Point after attempt by DeCock is good. Score now 35-21. And the Lions going to have to keep answering. If you don't get a stop, you're going to have to keep scoring because this Hendrickson team has showed that they can move the ball. And, the Lion coaching staff's going to have to come up with an answer to try to slow that offense down.
Hey, Leander scoring does not seem like a problem right now. So let's just keep it rolling, keep the ball moving in the trenches, and I don't think they can stop us.
It's really similar to last week's game, but just the Lions on top this time because the Pflugerville Panthers jumped out to a pretty good lead, and the Lions just kept battling back, and then Pflugerville would answer, and it's kind of the same kind of situation here. But you just, all it takes is one play, and a fumble, maybe even 2 plays, a couple of penalties, something like that, and suddenly you've given the ball back to Hendrickson, and if you don't stop them, then they're only within a score. So the Lions really need to answer here to try to keep that 3-score lead. It's just It's way more comfortable for a guy like me. I won't have to go eat a bunch of Tums after the game if we can keep a 3-score lead.
Right.
So getting close, though.
Stop at Whataburger, get that double cheese,
Well,
jalapenos.
I want to give the field credit because they did provide Golden Chick for us. Since COVID, stadiums have kind of pared back those offerings that they used to have for us press box folks. In the past, some schools do potlucks where they're booster club moms, and you just have this. It's like going to a church potluck. I mean, you got every casserole in the world, homemade macs and cheese, and sometimes it's wings. Last week with Pflugerville, there were wings. Leander used to have some of the best, and since COVID, it's just hadn't been the same.
Back in the day, Miss Gideon would make the best banana pudding.
Oh, yes.
She'd bring it over.
That is my favorite dessert.
Every dinner before the game.
So kicking off is going to be Devin DeCock for Hendrickson. It looks like there may have been another penalty against Leander as they're kicking off from the Leander 45. Very interesting. I'm not sure about that. And it looks like he's kind of lining up with an onside look. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they were short a guy. I was going to say you have to have even numbers on either side of the kicker. And it looked like they had one extra. And he kicked before the whistle, or Leander called a timeout right before the kick, and so they can get their hands team out there. Looks like they may already be out there, though, but they just want to discuss it with them.
Want to put them on ice for a little bit. Ice.
Well, and it, no matter what, your defense is still getting rest right now. So if you call a timeout in a special team situation or an offensive situation, that's an extra minute and a half, 2 minutes of rest for that defense, which they need. They've been on the field a lot over the last 2 quarters. And they've had the Hendrickson offense kind of behind the chains a couple of times, but then, they'll pull out a big play, either a pass or a long run, and keep their drives alive, and that's really kept them in tonight's ball game. Otherwise, it's 35-7.
Yeah, I mean, Leander playing great defense, getting good movement on the front line. It's just those blown plays. That's how Hendrickson's staying in this game.
Well, you can't miss tackles. That's obvious. We'll see if Hendrickson decides to kick deep this time. The Lions have 10 of their 11 players within 10 yards of the 35-yard line of Leander. Devin DeCock to kick. And he will kick deep, and it'll go out of the end zone, and the Lions will take the touchback and start with the football on the 25-yard line. No time will burn off the clock since nobody on the receiving team touched the football, so still 11:26 remaining here in the fourth.
Let's see if we see number 6 to continue to run that thing.
We'll see. We haven't seen Logan Mitchell here in the second half. The Lions are on the sideline huddled up. And it does look like Mitchell's going to come out here on this series. We saw Mason Montgomery open the half with 2 series. No, he's going back to the sideline. Looks like Mason Montgomery's going to come out once again for Leander's offense. Maybe Logan Mitchell's nicked up a little bit, and they just want to make sure he's okay moving into the season further. So Montgomery remains the quarterback for Leander. He's going to hand to Hargrave. He breaks the first tackle. He's at the 25. 30 cuts in almost to the 35, gain of about 9 yards. He almost got dropped for a loss in the backfield, but showed some good quickness to get around that outside contain and make a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, he's got that football speed for sure.
Yeah, that was impressive. He had a guy that good penetration, had good contain, but he was able to get around him and pick up those 9 yards. 2nd and 1 here. Clock moving at 10:54. Montgomery, quick snap. He's able to get on the ball, and that's going to be a loss on the play, and that's a miscommunication between Montgomery and the center, Casimir. He was not expecting the football, a significant loss on the play. He's going to push the ball back to the 28-yard line. It's going to make it 3rd and about 7 yards for Leander to continue this drive. 10:27, clock still moving.
Leander just needs to keep their composure on this one. Just keep running that ball. It happens. Short-term memory.
There's a big play here on 3rd down. Pick up that first and keep the drive alive. Montgomery and Hargrave. Montgomery's pass is complete. Tackle broken and first down for Zane Wooldridge. And you know what? We haven't seen huge plays from Zane, like big touchdown plays. That is a huge play for Leander right there.
He's definitely there just when they need him. We haven't been leaning heavy on him like we did last game, but he's there.
Well, he made the catch, had a defender on him, and, he's not the biggest receiver in the world, but he was still able to break the tackle and get the yards needed for the first down to keep the drive alive. Hargrave in the backfield with Montgomery. And Montgomery will keep it. He gets hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage, but he carries it up to the 42-yard line. Gain of 3 is going to make it 2nd and 7 for the Lions. Make it a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Man, Montgomery gets out there, lays that shoulder. He lays out. That's 2 or 3 yards easily just laying
He's
out.
not afraid to get into fullback mode as a quarterback, which you don't see that a whole lot at any level, but high school is probably where you see it the most. But, occasionally you'll see it in college, and there was a guy from Lake Travis that played for that school in Norman that will do that every once in a while.
Right.
He'll remain unnamed. He's going to be kept by Montgomery, and he's able to pick his way forward for a gain of about a yard. Pretty good effort there by the front for Hendrickson, making the tackle, Carnell Spicer. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for Leander. Another big 3rd down play here for the Lions. Montgomery remains the quarterback. E.J. Hargrave the running back. Leander looking to keep the drive alive here as they near midfield. 2 receivers near side of the formation with a H-back on that side as well. 1 receiver on the wide side of the field. Montgomery with Hargrave as the running back. He fakes to Hargrave, rolls to the wide side, flips it in the flat to Derek Pites for a first down. And the Lions, and that should be a late hit out of bounds. I don't see a penalty flag, though. But the Lions will have a first down regardless in Hawk territory at the 49-yard line. Make it the 48. And the clock is burning. Well, he was knocked out of bounds there, so it stops at 8:09. But you get another touchdown here. You put Hendrickson's back against the wall here. And I like the methodical nature of this drive from the Lion offense. And I like that you have 2 quality quarterbacks that you can rotate in when needed. Hargrave, the running back, 2 receivers either side of the formation. Montgomery rolls to his right, sets up, has got a man open. It's Wooldridge for a touchdown. That is a 48-yard pass from Mason Montgomery to Zane Wooldridge. And the Lions double the Hawk output with the point after if Rodriguez makes it. Right now it's 41-21. 8:01 left.
That ball was perfect right there. I mean, Montgomery just showed us that he is that guy, too, to throw the ball.
Yeah, I can't. I got to take it back. I said that Montgomery's a lesser passer than Mitchell. I don't know about that anymore. He's definitely shown some precision with that football. Rodriguez puts through the point after, and the Lions do double the Henderson Hawk output. The score now 42-21 with 8 minutes and 1 second remaining in tonight's ball game. We'll shout out the sponsors one last time for the 4th quarter. The gold sponsors are Bear Electric in Mercy Veterinary Hospital. The silver sponsors are Bill Miller's Barbecue, RDZ Roofing, and Raising Cane's. The bronze sponsors are Golden Chick, Toyota of Cedar Park, Texas State Optical Cedar Park, Whitestone Fine Jewelry, Sisk Robb Incorporated, J.T. Reisdorf. Then the Lion Pride sponsors are A-Plus Septic Cleaning and Repairs, Grissom Insurance Group, who opened a new office this week. Black Rock Coffee are also there. And then the Roll Pride sponsors are MLD Services, Modern Shade, Milo Aquatics, and Dignified Dwellings, Central Texas Real Estate. Thank you, sponsors. Back deep to receive the kick for the Hawks is going to be number 13, Gabriel Guzman. And it looks like number 20, Artis Duncan, is back as well. Kicking for Leander from his 40 will be Rene Rodriguez. Made 6-point after touchdown attempts tonight. You know, those points add up, those field goals and those extra points. Rodriguez puts a nice one into the air, and it's going to be muffed into the end zone by Brody Martinka. And it looks like it's going to go out of the back of the end zone. It'll be Hendrickson football at the 20, I believe, because he didn't fair catch and catch it. I think you only get the 20 if that happens, but I'm not sure. We'll see where they mark it.
Let me go back to that last play. Zane had 10 yards on that guy. Burnt him pretty bad.
You can't hesitate with Zane Wooldridge. You give him a step, he's gonna make you pay.
He's the magic man. Now you see him, and now you don't.
Oh, there's a penalty flag against Hendrickson. It was a personal foul. So that'll put the line of scrimmage. Let's see. The referees are going to discuss where it should be lined up. I don't know if that's assessed from where the muff was made, which was around the 5, or if it's from where the ball would have been, which is the 20. It looks like they're going to put it at the 12, which would be about half the distance from the 20. Pistol formation for Cleveland. And bring a man in motion. They're going to hand to the running. Nope. Cleveland's going to keep it in the option look, and they're going to pitch to the receiver that came around, and that was Gabriel Guzman. He'll pick up about 3 yards to the 16. Make it 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Hendrickson Hawks. Devin Parker, the running back for the Hawks, with Cleveland at quarterback. Cleveland rolls to his left. He gets sacked from behind. He's going to end up getting a yard on the play, so that won't be a sack. But number 42 coming from behind for Leander, Chase Milne, making the stop and creating a 3rd down situation for Hendrickson inside their own 20. They need to get to the 22.5-yard line for a 1st down.
And that was perfect right there. I mean, you got pressure in the backfield, hawked them down.
And as
no options.
As they take their time trying to figure out what play they're going to run, that clock is moving now down to 6:50 in counting. Pistol formation, 2 receivers, top of the formation. We have an H-back here on the short side of the field. Parker, the running back. They're going to hand to Parker straight ahead, and he's not going to get much, maybe a yard. Coming up off the bottom there is going to be big number 55 for the Lions, Caleb Lemire. And it is now 3rd down and 5 yards for a 1st down. Ball marked at the 17-yard line, so they're going to give him a loss of 1. It is actually 4th down. I take that back. And the Lions, with a huge play there, are going to force a punt. Into the game will come Devin DeCock. Back deep to receive the punt for the Lions will be Zane Wooldridge. And he'll have a blocker about 20 yards ahead of him. And to also be cautious in case it's a short punt. That's Jake Bridwell. And we're going to have a timeout, Hendrickson, with 5:48 remaining. Well, Frank, what do you think? Were we right about the improvement being realized between Game 1 and Game 2?
Oh, they look great. They look great defensively. I mean, besides a couple deep balls, I mean, they look pretty sound. Offensively, who's going to stop us, honestly?
Well, if we execute like we've executed tonight, then definitely. And, you know, beyond the way the interior of the Pflugerville defensive line played last week, who knows what that game ends up. It might have been 54-52 or something like that. But we had a little bit of trouble with that interior with Pflugerville. We've shorn that up based on what we've seen tonight because Hendrickson's got some pretty good defensive tackles as well. We're just doing a better, more effective job of getting off the ball and getting downfield.
No, they look good. You got to keep the defenses guessing who's going to get the ball, who's going to run the ball. I mean, you got the quarterback that can do both. You got Zane. You got 21. Gordon running as strong as he's running tonight.
Oh, yeah.
They look great. Tight ends catching some passes. We're just a unit that's unstoppable right now.
They shift in the punt formation. DeCock waiting on the snap. He's got it. He's able to get a nice punt off. Wooldridge decides not to field it at the last second. He gets out of the way, and it's going to roll to the Lion 43 where Leander can really just put a stamp on this game and get out of here with a win with a decent drive here. They don't even have to come out with points. You just want to eat up as much of that 5:36 that remains on the clock as you can. In case you were following for updates, Vista Ridge falls tonight to Austin Bowie by a score of 37-28 in what looked like a pretty good ball game over wherever they were playing at probably Burger Stadium, since it looks like Austin Bowie was the home team. So the chains need to be reset because it's showing that Hendrickson has the ball, but the box is in the right spot, and so they get it all set up. Lions on the sideline. They'll break the huddle and go straight into formation. And it will remain Mason Montgomery, the quarterback. His running back will be Camarion Gordon. Got two receivers here on the short side of the field, a single receiver on the top. Gordon takes the snap, carries over the 45, breaks the tackle down to the 48 before he stopped. That's a gain of about 5 yards. The clock is moving. The Hawks have 2 timeouts, and the Lions have all 3 of their timeouts. They probably don't need them, at least at this point. It's not looking like they're going to need them. Wooldridge is going to get a breather as he runs off to the sideline. The Lions are definitely going to use up as much of the play clock each play as they can. Montgomery and Gordon in the backfield. H-back to the left of the formation. They fake to Gordon. Montgomery keeps it, runs outside. He's got midfield, and he carries up to about the 49. He's going to be shy of the first down by 2 yards to bring up 3rd and 2.
It's good to stay in bounds, though, on his end.
Yeah, very smart. Clock continues to roll at 4:33. And the Lions got about 26 seconds on that play clock, so if they get right close to 0 on the play clock, they're going to be right around 4 minutes, a little less, when this next play ends. And they still have those timeouts if they need them to avoid a delay penalty. Gordon, the running back, beside Montgomery. They're going to hand to Gordon. He's going to have the first down and then some to the 40, make it the 39, where he's finally tackled by number 12, Andre Nwagu. Clock now at 3:58 and counting as the chains move. Lions have a first down in Hawk territory at the 40.
And that Gordon's been steady Eddie all night. He
has, and you know, it's a lot easier when the front 5 are giving you a little bit of room to do that, and they've really gotten off the ball tonight. I've been quite impressed with the improvement from week 1 for this squad in every facet of the game. Gordon, the running back, with Montgomery, the quarterback. They're going to hand to Gordon. No, check that. That's a new running back. He's at the 30. Oh. He got a nice run. That's 34, Vin Duong. He'll have a first down at the Hawk 28.
I think someone's going to need to take the offensive line to the buffet tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. Well, if this is the NFL, you know, there'd be Rolexes or at least steaks for a game like
Steak
tonight.
Dinners for everybody tomorrow.
But, you know, they have a team dinner every week. So, you know, that builds the camaraderie. I mean, it's potluck stuff. But, you know, maybe a mom will hear this broadcast and be like, I'm going to bring some T-bones.
Yeah,
some. All you have to do is run down to Sam's or Randall's.
Right.
That's a lot of meat, though.
Yeah.
That is a lot of meat. That's more than one cow.
Especially feeding that pride over there.
And so the Lions will take a timeout with 2:35 remaining on the clock and a 21-point lead. It's 1st and 10. And the Hendrickson side is just thinned out a little bit as the game progressed. As much as people love to beat Leander, they hate it when Leander beats them. That's even worse, right?
Take that with you right there. Good night.
But you got to like the fact that they didn't let week 1 affect them beyond week 1.
No, they've kept their composure tonight. There's been times where they were busted plays, but yet they came back and they still played.
How many times as a player did you hear, don't let this loss cause you to lose next week? Don't dwell on this. You talked about it last week a little bit. You got to have a short-term memory in football.
Like they'd always say that, hey, the sun's always going to come up.
Right.
The sun's still going to come up tomorrow. So don't hang your hat too much.
So the Lions bring in another quarterback in Chris Tracy, number 18. He's going to hand off to Gordon, a gain of about none, maybe even a loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Gordon's probably pushing close to 100 yards. You don't want to lose any on these plays. But at the same time, you just want to burn clock here. It's 2:15 remaining, and the Lions just trying to put this on ice. It's hard to move Big 71 out of the middle. Dante White for the Hawks. You're a big boy when your jersey doesn't fit.
Right.
And it's the biggest one they got. 2nd down and 11. 2 running backs in the formation for Montgomery. He's going to hand to Vinh Duong, number 34, and he's going to lose a couple. Stay in bounds, though, the clock moving. We're about 95 seconds left in tonight's ball game. Ultimately, you got to like the effort, right? And we'll have just a brief post-game, give out some kudos to some of these guys. There's no way we're going to be able to get them all because, especially on that offensive front, just great play all the way around on the offensive side, all game. On the defensive side, they had a great first half. I think they might have been a little gassed in the second half, but you got to credit Hendrickson too. They really didn't want to give up. There's going to be a penalty flag against the Lions as Montgomery keeps it, gains about 8 yards to the 24, but it's going to come back unless Hendrickson declines it, because it would still be 4th and 7, and they do decline it, so it will be 4th and 7. The ball will be at the 24-yard line, and that's probably the right call as a coach. You can't get the ball back if you give them another chance to execute. And they're going to have a timeout, Hendrickson, as they stop play with 51 seconds remaining. The teams will huddle on the sidelines, and just want to talk about what's on the horizon. Juan told me that he thinks the next podcast is on Monday, which is possible. I've got to see here if I can find it. Are you looking it up, Juan? Okay. The Lions on the docket for next week as they come out of the timeout to the field. It is Monday, and it's at Walks It To You. So if you can make it out, come on out. The Lions have Del Valley at AC Bible next Friday.
Right. You can walk it while we talk it.
That's right. Well, and I've never tried Walks It To You, so I'm kind of interested. I'm not a big walk guy, but I do like Chinese, so and any kind of Asian food, except for I'm not a huge curry fan, so especially Steph. Oh, and it's a bad snap, and Rodriguez and the Lions will keep the clock moving. His number 84, the holder, catches a pass from Rene Rodriguez, and that's Aiden Stericker, and he's finally tackled with 35 seconds, and doesn't look like the clock's going to even stop.
He was pretty aware on that one.
It does stop at 32, and the Hawks will have at least one or two plays here to close the game, and we'll have a quick post game, and from there we will see you on Monday at Walks It To You. So make sure you come out, and if not, look for the broadcast stream for that podcast, the Lion Nation podcast. You can follow on Twitter. It's at Lion Nation Cast, C-A-S-T. Cleveland, the quarterback, he'll take a snap. He'll hand to the running back. He's going to be tackled around the 30 by number 22, Cannon Laywell. And 20 seconds and moving, and the Lions are going to come out with a win here as the Hawks get back into formation. Clock at 10 seconds. Cleveland will hand to the running back, number 20, Artis Duncan. He'll carry it up to the 45, and that's going to be the ball game. So there you go. The Lions even their record with a win tonight at Hendrickson. The record now 1 win, 1 loss, and with the Pflugerville Panthers putting a beat down on their opponent tonight, that gives me a little bit more confidence that this Lion team is better than advertised.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot more players step up this game. I mean, look at Montgomery. I mean,
yeah,
come on,
Montgomery.
the whole second half.
He threw a pick six in that first game, and then ended up with a touchdown drive late. But he showed all kinds of confidence tonight. We saw the same from Kamarian Gordon. Zane Wooldridge, who was the focus offensively in week 1 and in a lot of games during his time here at Leander, while he didn't have big numbers tonight, he came through in key moments.
He always answers the call. He's a player that makes plays, and it's simple. I mean, he's the magic man.
And, of course, offensively, it doesn't work without that offensive line. They did a great job all night long. When the Lions needed a first down or a big play, they protected or they blew open big holes for the running game. Ultimately, the defense was on the field quite a bit because that offense was so explosive, and we saw them play effectively in the first half, but dropping a little bit in terms of effectiveness in the second half. But I'll credit that somewhat to Hendrickson and their athletes on offense. They really showed that they got a lot of heart here.
Yeah, defensive line for Leander, I mean, they stepped it up a lot this game. I mean, I saw a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Number 99, Timon, I mean, that's a big boy right there. I mean, he took on number 74, the big dude.
The guy that's jersey doesn't fit.
Yeah, that guy right
Dante.
there. Elijah Ford.
Oh, yeah.
He was standing up Elijah Ford like nothing.
And we got great play on that line from Javier Gonzalez, as well as number 55, Caleb Lemire. So, again, Monday night we're going to have the Lion Nation podcast. Make sure you tune in. Follow on Lion Nation Cast on Twitter for the link, or look for it on Sports U. And you can either watch it live or come out and enjoy the restaurant Walks It To You. You can Google that. I don't have the address easily with me. And then next Friday, the Lions will host the Del Valle Cardinals. So for Frank Rodriguez, Juan Alanese, and our camera person, Peter Casimir, I'm Chuck Cracy. Thanks for watching, and go Lions!
Go Lions, baby.